Hello, oh my goodness. Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink the Trained Unprofessional, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. On the last one, we began the Keisuke prologue, and so now we're continuing the Keisuke route. Pretty fucking simple, eh? So let's get right on into it, because this may be the last episode of Tennis Ace until I get my hands on that next update, depending on how long Keisuke's route has been updated for past this point. As soon as I step outside the car, a wave of dry heat assaults me. The sudden shift in temperature sends a shiver down my spine. K-kun had sent one of his limousines to pick me up today, and that thing has such a powerful AC inside that I felt like I was inside of a blizzard. Well, I might be exaggerating a tad, but it's true that this thing gets cold as hell. Good evening, sir. The young master has been expecting you. Oh, right, that's Keisuke. I'm not used to hearing him being called that way. The fox chuckles, his voice carrying softly, almost melodically through the air. I have to say, he does have a certain air of elegance to him, even if he is a butler. I mean, even if he is a butler, butlers are elegant. Oh, the publicly released... I did not get a notification about that, Watba. Did you make a post about it on Patreon? Because I sure didn't. I sure did not. This is still 0.2. 0.20, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 0.20. So I guess this is not the latest update. Well, if we reach the end, I'll download the shit and we'll continue. Guess that's to be expected for someone that works with the rich. I suppose there are many things that about the young master that would surprise you. I'm not sure if surprised is the right term for the situation here. The public releases are on Itch.io. So I need to follow that page. Maybe get some email notifications going on. I don't know if that's even an option. But if there is a notification system, I need to sign up for that bitch because I am behind. Well, no matter. Shall I take you to the young master's room? Or maybe you'd prefer to eat something before you go to him. I could offer you some tea. No, that's fine. I already had lunch. I understand. In that case, follow me. With a smile, the butler calmly points down the hallway and turns to walk away from me. Did Keisuke grow up with this kind of pampering every day? In that case, I think he actually turned out more down to earth than I'd expect. The more you know. Excuse me, young master, your guest has arrived. Benjamin-san. Thank you for bringing him here, Kuroda. It's my pleasure. Don't hesitate to call if I am needed. I won't. Very well. If you'll excuse me, I must return to my duties. Hey, welcome to my house, Benjamin-san. I'm happy to have been invited here again, although... Saya-chan, what are you doing here? What do you mean, what am I doing here? Am I not allowed to visit a friend? That's not what I mean. I'm just surprised to see you here since K-kun said he never invited anyone else to his place. I thought I was the first. Yes, you were the first to visit my house, if that is so important to you. I just thought that it was about time that I had someone else come over. You yourself was the one who told me that I should open up to my friends more, weren't you? So I decided to invite my other closest friend to come today. Oh, I see. I'm glad you were taking my advice. Hey, Benjamin-kun, what do you think of this place? Isn't it huge? My jaw nearly hit the floor when I first saw it. It really is. I get the feeling that I'd easily get lost in this place if I didn't have someone guiding me around. It's not just a feeling. Getting lost here isn't hard at all. Seriously? One time, right after I moved here, I got lost in the back garden. It took the servants 2 hours to find me. Sheesh, why would someone want a house this needlessly big in the first place? I'm afraid the answer isn't going to do much help to clarify stuff. From what I've learned over the years, it's for no reason other than we can.
You're not like that. You're not like that, though. Why is that?
Who knows? Perhaps my upbringing before I moved here gives me a little sense of perspective. It's not as if I'm perfectly average either. I'm well aware that I sometimes do or say outlandish things out of my own nativity.
Like thinking a place that charges near minimum wage for a tub of ice cream is cheap?
Yeah, something like that.
You're still pretty easy to talk to. I was really surprised when I found out you were some mega rich kid because you really don't act like it.
I'll choose to take that as a compliment. By the way, Benjamin-san, Saya-chan and I were going to play some games. Want to join us?
Oh, you mean we're not going to have an obnoxiously fancy tea party?
Do you even want something like that?
Of course not. I'm sure it'd be
Very boring anyway. Thank God. I was afraid I'd have to actually entertain the idea of drinking tea.
Just because others are doing it doesn't mean you have to, too.
What about peer pressure?
If we jumped off a building, would you just follow suit?
Depends. Are we doing bungee jump?
Forget it. The main point is we don't want a tea party and you don't have to have tea. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of dressing up and feeling fancy while drinking tea. I wonder if that would make me a proper lady.
That's not...
I think you need to grow a pair of... This motherfucker just said, I think you need to grow a pair of boobs first if you want to be considered a lady. Dude, are you trying to get stabbed? Are you trying to get stabbed? Because that's how you get stabbed. That is prime stab-worthy shit, man.
There's the wreck and scratch and everything. Keikun makes a weird choking sound, turning to look at Saya with a gaping mouth. The words slipped out of my mind before I even gave him much thought. I mean, you're already a real lady, Saya-chan. I begin to cower from her, turning a few steps back, anticipating the physical punishment that undoubtedly awaits me. With this build-up, either she's going to go nuts or she's not going to react at all. Instead, Saya blinks, looking at the two of us confused.
Why are you guys staring at me like that?
Huh? Saya-san, didn't you hear what he just said?
I did? I mean, he's not wrong.
What? Who are you and what did you do to Saya?
What, am I supposed to turn into a fire-breathing dragon every time someone makes a joke at my expense or something? Yes.
That's what we've come to expect from you, of you, over time anyway.
Just yell at me already so we can get this over with. What? No!
Come on, it's for my own peace of mind.
What do I have to do with your peace of mind?
I have to admit, this feels really weird.
What? I don't want to just go around whacking people upside the head whenever they tease me.
Really? Because all the experience I've had dealing with you over this past year tells me otherwise.
Seriously, what's with all those bruises we got in the past for making jokes then? That's for when you cross the line. And talking about your non-existent breasts isn't crossing the line? Stop calling them non-existent. See, this does upset you. Why the hell aren't you hitting me? Saya huffs, her nose twitching multiple times with all those big jets of air. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe I don't want to be that kind of violent person anymore? I sneer, shaking my head sideways. Yeah, right, as if I'm ever going to buy that excuse. What?
It really is hard to believe.
Hey! You're like the most violent person I know.
Ditto.
Do you two really have such a low opinion of me?
Saya-san, there's a difference between an opinion and a fact.
She grits her teeth, clenching her fists in what are telltale signs of her fury. Did I get invited here just so the two of you could mock me?
No, but at this point, I'm not sure if you're really here. Perhaps I'm dreaming this whole thing up.
That is one way to explain her weird behavior. Just shut up already! Ow!
Why did I get slapped too?
You joined in and mocked me too!
That wasn't mocking. I was legitimately concerned that something was wrong.
See, I told you, you are violent. Damn, this stings. At least all you did was... at least all is right with the world again.
I don't like this outcome, but at least it's one that makes sense.
You two suck! She crosses her arms, grumbling unhappily. Jeez, and now I've lost a bet, too.
Bet? What bet?
She looks away with a huff. I notice that her cheeks are slightly reddened now. It's none of your concern.
Wait a second.
As soon as she hears the tone of my voice, Saya's entire body freezes. Did you make a bet with someone that you'd be able to stop hitting people or something of the sorts? Because that would make a lot more sense. As if he noticed it too, Keisuke looks over at Saya, who is now making it a point to look away from us. I don't know what you're talking about.
One. Saya-san.
Keisuke's voice comes out abnormally stern, almost commanding. Saya jumped and straightened herself out immediately in response.
Please tell me that I did not just get hit because of a bet.
I mean, it wasn't because of the bet, exactly. I slapped you because you were...
So this bet does exist. And if it weren't for this so-called bet, you would have reacted with Benjamin-san first teased you, and I would have remained uninvolved in the whole thing.
I mean, not exactly.
Saya-san.
Saya gulps loudly, looking away from the two of us. How much can she look away from us? Are you freaking kidding me? Who even makes a bet like that? Not hitting people should be a matter of common sense.
Indeed. What a vulgar little wager.
Jeez, dial down the judgment a little.
No.
Gah. Who'd you even make a bet with? Anyone who knows any of us, even just a little bit, would have been able to predict something like this happening... Like this happening? Well, what? Of course not!
It doesn't take much to imagine that we'd be confused if you suddenly stopped acting like normal. It also doesn't take much to imagine that you'd eventually reach your breaking point if we kept making comments about it.
What you guys are suggesting here would require a prophetic degree of foresight.
Would it really?
Of course it would. This whole idea is ridiculous.
As much as I hate to admit, it's hard to think of a person that could make these kinds of leaps in logic. Without the gift of hindsight, it would take a lot of imagination. No, I can think of just the person. Really? Who?
1 second.
Hello, Benjamin? Were you the one that made the bet with Saya? On the other side of the call, laughter begins to echo. Seems he wasn't able to keep a straight face through the phone. Did she lash out at you guys yet?
You knew this would happen.
Who'd you call?
Ghostbusters.
Keisuke stands around, confused. He leans closer to me in an attempt to hear Shuichi's voice on the other end of the line. Meanwhile, Saya's looking away from us both. Of course I did. I know you and Saya better than anyone else. It's not hard for me to imagine you piling on the grief on her until she cracked. I swear I'm gonna hit you tomorrow. Be my guest. In the meantime, this is punishment for not inviting me along.
I can't invite you to someone else's house.
I know. That's why I made sure that this would happen with Urashihara around. That way he gets punished too.
You're evil.
Perhaps. Either way, I've got to go. Have fun. Oh, and remind Saya-chan that she owes me 6,000 yen. Who was that?
Shuichi.
What? I'll kill him. I'll just kill him tomorrow.
Not if I get to him first. Aren't you guys going a little too far over a prank? I got slapped over that prank of his, so no.
To be fair, you would have gotten slapped regardless. I'm the only one here who's gotten hit unduly.
What? No way. He's right, though. I would have slapped you after that first comment if it weren't for the bet. You hit me, and now you're going to side with him? Side with him? There are no sides here. What are you talking about? That's close, but...
never mind. My check is still tingling. My check! Slap me right in the checkbook. I feel like I've been played. We've all been played. It was mostly Saya.
Do you want me to hit you again?
No, ma'am. Spineless.
Be quiet.
Well, feel free to continue grumbling like a child. I'm gonna get back to what we were doing here before.
What, you mean you won't help me plot Shuichi's demise?
Demise? What are you, a child? I'm just gonna try to have fun like we were going to.
Yeah, Benjamin Coon, I'm the one who lost money here. Why are you complaining?
Does my dignity mean nothing to you people? No.
Nuh-uh.
Not one bit, in fact.
You two are horrible.
It's my pleasure. Now, to choose a game to play, or what console to play.
Why don't you just help us, Benjamin Coon? That way it'll go faster. Jeez, no one really cares at all.
Stop mumbling to yourself and get over here already.
You're so mean.
Yeah, haven't you heard? I'm horrible. Now get to it.
What's the point? We can't play most of these games with only 3 people.
So
yeah, that's true.
Fuck. Gonna drop a fuck on them.
What? Did I just hear you curse? The prim and proper K-Coon?
You heard nothing. I'm pretty sure you heard nothing.
Well, okay, I heard nothing.
Keisuke sighs, rubbing his forehead, his nose and brow twitching repeatedly.
What will we do? Should we just play normal 2-player games and trade controllers?
We could also just pick some 4-player party game and play against a CPU.
Playing against the CPU is super boring.
It's better than having to trade controllers. That means 1/3 of everyone will be spent not playing.
That's true.
Actually, I have an idea.
Oh?
Keikun fiddles with his phone, typing something on it. There, it shouldn't take very long now.
What did you...
You called me? Yeep! Just then a towering, muscled wolf wearing a tight butler vest walked into the room. His eyes looked stern and unapproachable. Definitely not the friendliest person I've seen. Possible thumbnail moment. For how long have you been streaming, Decalink? We've been streaming for 20 minutes. It seems Alex hasn't changed at all since I last met him, although I suppose that's to be expected.
Big.
The wolf's ears twitched at those words, focusing his eyes on the frightened-looking bunny. Calm down, Saya-chan, he's a friend. This is Alexander. He's been my butler and friend for years. Feel free to call him Alex. Hello. The wolf nods at us, looking us both up from top to bottom. I'm also his bodyguard. That is my main occupation. There's no need to bring that up, Alex. It's not like I'm in need of protection in the first place. Oh, you mean to tell me that I imagined the pay cut I received after your wallet was stolen just a few days ago? Fair point. The wolf's eyes settle on me. Even though I know I shouldn't, I still get a little nervous when the piercing gaze is pointed right at me. If I remember correctly, you're Benjamin, yes?
Yeah, we met a while ago. Nice to see you again.
His voice and expression are so maddeningly devoid of emotion. What's with so many people around me being so hard to read? And you're the one that was with Keisuke when his wallet was stolen. My stomach immediately sinks at those words. Oh god, he's gonna blame me for this, isn't he? Alex. Keisuke's fur bristles around his neck as he stares dangerously at the wolfman that easily towers over him. Not even looking at his employer, Alex holds up the hand as if to say, wait. Thank you for teaching this foolish fool about how careless he's been. Keisuke, Sai, and I nearly hit the floor with our jaws once he utters those words. Then, as if to say that we were having fun, he was having fun at our expense when we thought he was going to have to chastise me, the corners of his mouth quirk up in amusement. Did you just call me a fool? Twice? I'll call you that a 3rd time if need be. Maybe even a 4th for good measure. Alex! Saya looks away from the two, covering her mouth as she attempts to keep herself from bursting into laughter. Don't laugh! You seem to be very, very flustered at the moment. Should I get you some tea? Don't tease me either.
Tease me.
These two have a friendlier relationship than I thought they would, considering their circumstances. I guess I was worried over nothing, huh? Regardless, Benjamin, thank you for going through with the trouble of helping this fool get me a gift. It was ultimately unnecessary, but I still appreciate the gesture. There it is, you just called me a fool again! Yes, I did. You have good ears, young master. Ugh, don't call me that. It just sounds gross when you do it. As you wish, my lord.
We're not in the Dark Ages, Middle Ages.
I see. Forgive me, Your Grace.
Now you're just mocking me, aren't you?
What was your first clue?
Even if I'm unable to hold back my laughter as they continue to bicker even I am unable to hold back my laughter as they continue to bicker amongst themselves. Or in this case, Keisuke continues to bicker with what is basically a giant brick wall as Alexander's facial expression doesn't shift even a little bit through this whole exchange.
Yeah, make fun of me, why don't you? Excuse me, Keisuke, but if you're just going to sulk around instead of telling me what you wish for me to do, then may I be excused?
I'm not gonna take the bait this time.
Oh, too bad. I'm 1 for 2, I guess.
The reason I called you over is because we need another player.
One other player?
Alexander at first begins to repeat Keisuke's request until the words sink in and he starts looking from here to the entertainment center right next to us. After a few seconds, he wordlessly points at the video games and then back at him, as if he was asking confirmation on the seemingly absurd request he had just been given.
Yes, I am asking you to play games with us.
Keisuke, I hardly think that's there, you're my personal butler among other things. No, that means you do what I ask you to do. I'm asking you to play games with us. I hardly think that's a complicated request. The wolf raises an eyebrow as if he's still having trouble believing the words he's hearing.
While that is the gist of things, I don't think your grandmother would approve of such a thing.
Grandmother doesn't approve of anything. Besides, the old hag isn't home right now, is she?
No, the mistress is visiting a friend's estate in the next town over and isn't expected home until tomorrow.
See, there's nothing to worry about.
I disagree, and I see your mind is made up.
It is. You'll play games with us. End of story. The wolf closes his eyes, pondering those words for a while.
Very well. Either way, this is hardly the most absurd request you've made for me over the years.
There's some truth to that, yes. Zaya lifts her hands as if she were trying to ask a question of a teacher in class. I'll admit it's hard to find an opportunity to interject in the middle of their conversation. Kinda like there was no space left for someone else in that exchange. My neck fucking hurts. What the hell? I guess she's gonna ask how we'll choose the pairs. That's what I was gonna ask. I have no idea what's going on right now, but Mr. Wolf looks really climbable. Can I climb him? What? Even Alexander's expression falters for a second, looking at Saya with confusion and incredulity transparently showing on her face.
I'm not a rock climbing wall.
Aww. For some reason, she seems incredibly dejected at her weird request being denied. Saya-san, please have some sense of timing. When is it ever the right timing for you to ask to climb someone? Fair point. I clear my throat, calling everyone's attention towards me. If I may redirect this conversation back to normality. Please do, I beg you. How will we decide on the pairs? I know we haven't decided on what game we're going to play, but it should be much easier to decide what we're going to do and what we're going to be playing with first. That's true. I think it'd be... Why is my fucking... It's because I didn't get good sleep. I think I'd be able to get along well with whoever I were to pick as my partner. So maybe it wouldn't be fair for me to be the one choosing. On the other hand, if we were to leave it to chance, I'm the only one that does well no matter the result. That's true. Maybe we should have Alexander pick, since the only good pairing for him would be with you.
While I appreciate the sentiment, I believe the guest should get to pick before the servant.
That's a surprisingly hardcore thing to answer, even if it's true. What should we do, Benjamin Coon? Maybe we should flip a coin to decide which of us get to pick. I like that idea. Let's go with that. Do you have a coin? No. Then that's a stupid idea. Why'd she suggest that? What happened to you liking the idea? Jeez, so quick to judge. I have a coin. Here, I'll flip it. Benjamin-san, you call it. Why does Benjamin Coon get to call it? Because it was his idea. Saya grumbles unhappily, crossing her arms and tapping her foot a few times. That's fair, I guess. Okay, call it before I flip. I always pick tails. Tails. Alright, I'll flip it now. It's heads. Nah, fuck that. Heads. I'll flip it now. It's heads. Benjamin's son gets to pick. Rats! I'm a sore loser. She merely huffs in response. Who you pick as your partner? That's a very good question. Keisuke. Keisuke, I choose you! Yeah! What am I, a Pokemon? Something like that. Wait, does this mean I get Alex? Yeah, sorry if you don't. Cool! She immediately hops right next to the wolf, who stares at her with confusion. Can I climb you? We've been over this. Aww. Glad to see Saya-san is happy. Your guess is as good as mine. Well, might as well take this chance to show him who's boss. Damn right. Though I never thought I'd hear you using that expression in my life. It took a lot of digging around before we each found games that we wanted to play. Alexander refrained from joining the discussion on what we should play, but he still picked up a game from the pile. Guess he's just not very vocal about his preference. Either way, since we couldn't settle on which one we'd choose with everyone having a different opinion, we decided to leave it to chance again. The four of us played rock, paper, scissors until the winner was decided. In this case, it was Keisuke. Did we really have to go with a tennis game of all things? I won that competition fair and square. I get to pick. But it's so boring! You're a tennis player. I can even say something like that. Playing tennis is only fun if you're actually playing it. Tennis games are just dull. I actually agree with Saya-chan on this one. You guys make me sad. Besides, isn't this going to be hard for Alex? He's the only one here who isn't a tennis player. Does he even know the rules? I do. There's no need to worry about me. See, is my partner awesome? We haven't even loaded it into the game yet. Save the gloating for later. We're gonna ruin your asses, just you wait. At least learn to trash talk properly. Trash talk properly. It sounds like a line straight out of a gay porn movie. How would you even know? Hey, imagination is a thing that exists, you know. Translation, I have no idea, I just wanted to say that, right? Pretty much. You're ridiculous. Saya leans towards Alexander's ears. The wolf curves himself down so she can reach him on the tip of her toes. Let's just let them implode before we start, then we'll have it in the bag. I heard that. Same here. Let's just pick our players and get started already. I suddenly feel an itch to play. How should we divide our tasks? Should we have one player dedicated to the baseline, or the other to the net? Sounds good to me. I'll let you handle the baseline since you have better sense for that. Got it. I think your attempt at stealthy trash talking just served to fill them with motivation. Damn. We look through the list of full famous professional players in the current circuit and immediately pick the ones we want to play as. I pick Waluigi! If that didn't sound like Waluigi, then you haven't played fucking Mario Tennis, where he doesn't sound anything like how he sounds in any other game. He sounds like Waluigi, which is weird because usually, he's down there usually, but it's different. It's different, man. You don't know Waluigi. He's my favorite of the My Little Ponies. Waluigi, son. Well, okay, I already said that. Keisuke picks a player well known for his precise volleying and good footwork. I pick a player that has strong shots and serve. Alex goes with a defensive player, while Saya picks an ultra-aggressive serve and volleyer. Right of the bat, I can already tell that this isn't the most realistic game out there. No matter how much power I put into my shots, they always seem to land inside the court with no problems. Not only that, it seems that timing is absolutely irrelevant in this game. You just press the button when you feel like it, and as long as the ball hasn't gone past you yet, you get it perfectly. Not the most engaging way to start a match, but I guess it'll have to do. It's not like they can do a perfect one-to-one conversion of the real-life game into this virtual system. Wonky controls aside, there doesn't seem to be much cohesion to what Sai and Alex are doing. They're just kind of doing their own thing with no rhyme or reason. I'm going to try a sharp angle shot that'll leave us a little open. Walk it back a few steps to increase your defensive range. It'll do. On the other hand, with Keisuke barking out short, cohesive orders, it's hard for us to not be organized. It's not very fun getting constantly told what to do, but I'll just let it slide since what he says usually is the ideal thing to do regardless. Yeah, that's right. If we get them at this way, they'll go at them this way. They'll have no choice but to back up into a more defensive position. K-Kun, stop analyzing us.
Don't be ridiculous. If you can't play with using your brains, then that's your problem. I'll use mine, thank you very much.
I would so hit you for that comment just now but I can't let go of my controller.
I will allow no such thing under my watch. Careful, Sayachan. If you try to hit K-Kun with Alex around, he might just throw you out the window.
So annoying.
We chose to only play one set match, so it wouldn't go on for very long. Tennis games, even the less realistic ones, have an annoying habit of being super realistic when it comes to time, and time it takes to get through a match. Sai and Alexander's play is disorganized enough that we have a clear advantage, but not so much that we can just blaze through them. As a result, the game turns into a slogfest where one side is playing very aggressively and the other very defensively. The match ends up going really long. Since we're talking about a video game where stamina and mental state aren't a thing that exists, there's never a point where one side just can't keep up anymore. It takes us almost a full hour just to get through the first set. The end result is predictably a total victory for Keisuke and I. Alex didn't play badly, despite not having any experience with tennis, but the lack of organization between him and Saya meant that they lost many easy points or attempted to go on the offensive and left areas of the court open. We get by with a 6-3 score, overall not a bad result for the two of us. It was so easy I almost feel bored by the result.
Now you're just saying stuff you know will annoy me because I can't hit you.
Why don't you give it a try? I've always wanted to see a flying bunny.
You're so dead tomorrow.
Perhaps, but for today, I'm just gonna have fun at your expense.
I hate you.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Shall we try again?
I guess we could play one more set. Of course we'll play again. I'm not quitting until I win.
We don't have all night to play just to satisfy your ego.
Rude.
Not rude, honest. But I suppose there's no harm in playing one more set. Ah, the famous last words. Just one more won't hurt, then they go on to do it over and over again. The hours seem to pass by leisurely as we continue to play games and joke around. It's surprising to see K-Kun playing and laughing like this. It's so rare for him to lower his guard in front of other people, or at least I myself don't see it often. You missed 36 minutes. Maybe Alex is more used to these kinds of things. These two have known each other for quite a few years already. When I think about it, I feel weirdly jealous of that. Despite how stuck up he can be at times, K-Kun jokes around so freely with Alex. I wish he could act the same way around me more often, too. Benjamin-san, you're spacing out again.
Sorry, what were you saying?
It was nothing super important. We were just trying to decide on what to have for dinner. I don't know if you noticed, but it's already starting to get dark.
Wait, really?
I look out the window, and sure enough, the sky has started to darken. Huh, didn't notice it at all.
Of course you didn't notice. You were spacing out as always.
As always, I take offense to that. Sai-san is right. You space out all the time, almost as much as Kobayashi. Of course you two would gang up on me. Telling things how I see them is very different from ganging up. Either way, what were you thinking so hard about?
Oh, it was nothing much. Just thinking about random stuff.
Huh. That's less interesting than I thought. Well, not that it matters anyway. Do you have any idea what you guys want to have for dinner? I'll ask Kuroda-san to fetch us whatever you guys want.
I want sushi.
Oh,
I'll go for whatever you guys want. There's no real point in trying to pander to me anyway, since I eat most things. Most things, huh? Except for anything that has tea, pepper, or milk. Wow, I'm surprised you know that. I've learned my lesson. I'm making an effort to get to know my friends better. I also might have asked Sayachan a bunch of stuff about you. Huh. So you were serious about that stuff you said about being more attentive friend and whatnot? Of course I was. I'm a man of my word. Besides, it's embarrassing not to be able to treat the people who always take such good care of me with the same degree of care. I think you're exaggerating things just a tad. Yes, besides, you're hardly a man yet. You're just 17. What? I don't have to be 20 to be a man. I'm already plenty responsible enough. Not according to the law, you're not. Sheesh, you always have to burst my bubble. Yes, it's one of my favorite hobbies. The wolf shows a hint of a smile when he says those words. Even if he seems stern all the time, the way he talks to and treats Keisuke is almost brotherly. You're terrible. Thank you. I aim to be. Either way, should I order sushi then? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Sushi's pretty good. Yay, sushi! You don't need to get so excited over something so simples. So simples. But sushi is amazing! If you say so, I won't disagree. Let me go. The door to Keisuke's room is suddenly opened without warning. Is it his dad? Oh, whoa, shit. Oh, that's the grandma, isn't it? My apologies for the intrusion, young master. Kuroda, one of Keisuke's butlers, walks into the room with another white hair that I don't recognize. It's an older woman wearing some very expensive-looking clothes. The scowl on her face is terrifying enough that I can imagine children crying upon just glancing at her. As soon as she walks in through the door, Keisuke's entire body stiffens up. Even Alex seems to respond in a similar way, although there is no change in his facial expression. As I'm left wondering who this person might be, she looks over the room, her eyes pausing on Saya and I for just a second before moving on, an incredible measure of disgust on her face. I see that the servants were not joking when he told me that you had guests. It seems you didn't even seem to think of seeking permission before inviting these people over to my house. It almost felt like she was biting her tongue to avoid calling us something else. By the way she looked at me, she was already unfriendly enough that I dared not speak a word. These are my friends, grandmother. I hardly think I need permission to invite them to my house. Your house? How odd. I don't remember seeing your name on the scripture for this estate. Last time I checked, it wasn't in your name on it. It wasn't your name on it either. It was my father's name, so I don't think I need to be asking you for permission. The woman narrows her eyes, pursing her lips so much that they start to look like a single thin line. She glances at the TV, in which the last game we played is still being displayed for all to say. All to say? It's all to see. And what about this? Wasting your time on games? Don't you have better, more productive things to do if you have such if you have so much free times? So long as I produce acceptable results then the way I spend my time is my own business, grandmother. You do well to remember that. The woman huffs, her eyes moving towards the wolf that stands behind us. Drake. Yes, master. The way Alexander spoke his words was almost robotic, completely devoid of any emotion. I had thought before that he didn't have put much emotion into his words before, but just now the difference was so obvious that I could notice it. I hardly think you're entitled to skip on your work to play games. My apologies, master. If you understand, then get back to work. I'll see that your next paycheck reflects your poor attitude. Yes, Matt. Hang on just a second. Alex is my personal butler. His job is to do what I tell him to do. If I tell him to play games with me, then he is doing his job. She huffs, hearing his words, opening her mouth to speak again. You don't have to cover for me. I failed to perform my duties in an acceptable manner. I'll take responsibility for it. But Alex... Good. It seems that at least the servant still knows his place here. Come with me, then. We need to better discuss your punishment.
Yes, master.
With one last look at us, the woman huffs once more, walking out of the room without another glance back. Alex follows behind her, her eyes looking much more stern and menacing than normal.
That, but young master, please contain yourself. It would not do to insult your grandmother. Yeah, right.
What just happened? Keikun, that was your grandmother?
Yeah, she's a nightmare, isn't she? I have no idea what she's even doing here. She was supposed to be out of the estate for the entire day. I'm sorry, young master, that's my fault.
The fox looks away, his tail going between his legs as his shoulders slump.
Your fault? What are you talking about? In my excitement to see you finally bringing friends over, I let it slip to one of your other servants that you had company. It seems that information was passed along to one of your grandmother's spies.
And she went out of her way to come back here just to torment me.
I hate the fact that makes sense.
You're kidding, right? Spies? She has spies here?
Well, this is also her house. Even if we are all servants hired by the Urushihara Corporation, not all of us have our allegiances to the same members of the family.
The company is divided in factions that support different members of the family. My father's faction is nothing but puppets to my grandmother. She's the one that controls everything.
On the other hand, there are those of us who are loyal to the young master and wish to see him take control of the company, but he is unwilling to do so.
Kuroda, even if I wanted to do that, you know as well as I do that there's no way I could really do that. The company wouldn't be passed on to me until they were sure that they'd have a way of controlling me.
Yes, that is also regretfully true.
I didn't know you had so many issues in your daily life.
I try to keep my family drama away from my friends. No need to involve you guys in issues you have no way of helping me with. I'm sorry you guys had to see this.
You don't have to apologize. She's the one who did it. Seriously, what's her problem?
Grandmother hates me. She enjoys taking every opportunity she has to flaunt her power over me and make me miserable. She was probably beside herself with the prospect of humiliating me in front of friends.
That's horrible! Why would you go out of her way just to make you feel unwelcome in your own home?
Because this isn't my home. Not really. I'm just a bastard to her. You think she wants to have me around? The only thing keeping me here is the fact that my father doesn't have other children. I'm pretty sure I said this before.
To be honest, I didn't think you were serious about it.
Why would I make shit like this up? That'd be ridiculous.
Oh my god, Spoof, could you shut up for a second?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Kuroda, please don't take this as me blaming you, but why didn't you warn me she was coming? I wanted to, but she made sure to order me to accompany her here, just so I wouldn't have the opportunity to do so. She's sneakier than I thought. I'm coming in. Oh, Father, to what I owe the pleasure of your visit. Come on, there's no need for that sort of tone. I ran into your grandmother as I was getting home, and I was informed you had guests. From the look Alexander gave me, I imagined she came here. So you decided to come here and make your presence known to my friends. I'm touched.
The older hare's smile falters for a second. He awkwardly scratches the back of his neck, looking at the butler standing next to him.
Kuroda, could you have dinner prepared for us? Make sure there's enough for our guests. Very well, sir. Will your mother also be joining you for dinner? No, I came up with an excuse to give her so she'd go back to her friend's place. I figured that'd give everyone some quiet time. How very kind. What are the strings attached to your favor this time?
Keikun, I don't think you need to talk to him like that. Seems to be trying to help.
Pfft, sure, his help always has strings attached to that.
His father looks away for a second, his gaze casting itself down to the floor.
That's... If we could speak just over dinner... There's no need. If you have something you want to ask of me, then just do it already. I'll be having dinner with my friends in my own room, thank you very much. Kuroda, could you have some sushi prepared and sent here, please?
The fox looks between the two, hesitating for a second before speaking out.
As you wish, young master.
Kuroda-san walks out of the room, giving us one last uncertain look before closing the door behind him.
That was unnecessary, Keisuke.
Kei-kun, I don't think you have to be harsh on your dad. He doesn't look like he means anything bad. Saya leans onto Keisuke's shoulder, whispering those words onto his ear. I see the older ears twitch as he tries to listen to what she's saying, curiosity flashing in his eyes.
Yeah, can't you go a bit easy on him?
No matter how I look at him, I just see a man standing awkwardly in front of his son. I can't think badly of him like I do with Keisuke's grandmother.
Please don't take offense to this, but you two are just outsiders looking in. You have no idea how he's like. He never comes to see me unless he has something to ask. And when I say ask, I mean order. Keisuke, I really don't think your friends need to see this. Can we please just step outside for a second to talk?
Keisuke looks at the two of us for a second, the anger in his eyes dissipating for just a bit. He's probably arguing with himself about whether or not he wants to act this way in front of us.
Fine.
The two walk out of the room without saying another word, leaving Saya and I alone. That was surreal. I know. I feel like I shouldn't be here right now. Yeah, I got that feeling too, although I'm sure Kei-kun would say that we're crazy if we told him that. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure you're right. Saya looks away, biting her lip. She sits herself down on Keisuke's bed, awkwardly kicking at the floor. What do you think they're talking about out there? I have no idea. I'm honestly surprised at this whole thing. I knew his family life was tense, but I never imagined it was this much. Yeah, usually when people talk about family issues, they tend to exaggerate them a little because of anger or stuff like that. In this case, it seems like he was downplaying it instead. Do you think we should say something to him? What is there to say? Hey, I'm sorry your grandma's a bitch. By the way, I think you're too harsh on your dad. Maybe we just don't word it like that. You do agree with me, right? On what? Saya's ears flop down next to her face as she fidgets uncomfortably on her seat, clearing her throat multiple times before she speaks. That he was kind of out of line? With the way he talked to his dad, I mean, not with his grandmother, honestly, fuck that woman, she's an old hag. Yeah, I agree. It really looked to me like his dad was feeling pretty bad about the whole thing. Saya nods, her eyes glued to her feet as she moves them forward and back on the air. You think we should say something? Didn't we already do that? He wasn't exactly thrilled to hear it either. Yeah, but I don't know. It might sound stupid for me to say this since I've never really had many issues growing up, but I really think that family should stick together. If his dad is offering him an olive branch, I really think he should take it. His family problems have nothing to do with us, though. We have no business saying anything. No offense, but you're a real pushover when it comes to this kind of thing. Hey, it's true. Not our problem, none of our business. Kei-kun's our friend. If we see him doing something that we think is wrong, isn't it our duty to say something? Especially if we think it might help him? It sounds a lot simpler when you put it in such terms, but the reality is that he doesn't sound like he wants us to say something. He doesn't even want us to know about it. Saya jumped out of the bed, landing on her 2 feet. She looks at me with a sudden fierce look in her eyes. Well, too late for that. The cat's already out of the bag. All it takes for evil to prevail is for some good men to do nothing. I'm going to say something with or without you. First of all, I'm surprised you can even quote something as philosophical as that at all. She attempts to laugh, but only managed to elicit a dry, meek laugh. You really do have a penchant for getting yourself mixed up in other people's business, huh? Fine, I'll back you up. Smiling, Saya walks up to me, giving me a soft pat on the shoulder. Thanks. I knew I could count on you. You're a good friend. Yeah, well, I just hope being a good friend to you doesn't end up costing me another good friend. I don't think Keikun would break his relationship with us because we spoke up. Until today, we also didn't know how bad his relationship was with his family, or about their company being torn up. How much are you willing to bet that on what we think of him? That's a fair point. We both jump in surprise at the sound of the door opening again, scrambling to try to pretend that we weren't talking to each other like two kids who were caught doing something bad until we realized we had no reason to do so in the first place. Wow, that was a long fucking... That's one sentence. That is one fucking sentence. Jesus. Are you alright?
I think so. Dealing with my family can be so exhausting at times. My head is spinning.
I'm sorry to hear that. Keikun, there's something that we kind of wanted to say.
What is it?
Sai and I both look at each other, swallowing multiple times and trying to come up with the courage to say what we wanted to say. We don't think that the way you treated your dad was... that it was right.
Oh, how so?
It's just... We get that your grandma really is a bitch with a capital B, but... Your dad really looked like he was trying his hardest to be nice to you. I get that you think he doesn't like you either, but...
I'll stop you two right here.
His voice came out surprisingly soft. His knuckles were pressed tightly against the palms of his hand, and his nose was flared up from anger. But his voice still came out incredibly soft and low, to the point of being hard to hear. That by itself somehow made him even more scarier than it would have been if he was yelling at us. I think he doesn't like me? What do you know about me or him to tell me what I do or do not think? Okay, I think I might have expressed myself badly there. No, you expressed yourself perfectly fine. You two don't know what my family is like, but you still think you're entitled to give me your opinion about how I deal with them. You've seen my father, what, twice? And yet you think you know him? Well, here's a newsflash for you two. You don't. I've lived with him for most of my life. He would barely ever talk to me unless it was to tell me or to do something or to censor me, so I think I know what I'm talking about when I tell you what he's like. We didn't mean to offend you or anything. We just assumed. Yes, that's the problem. You assumed. You have no idea what things are like here because I made sure never to say anything about it. Because I don't want anyone else having to get involved with my problems or having to shoulder my burdens. You don't know what it's like here. You shouldn't assume. I know what I'm talking about, okay? Believe me, I know. Is your dad really that bad? He seemed like he was trying to be nice.
Seemed. My family lives on appearances. Why do you think my grandmother hates me so much? How do you think it makes her feel that her precious company is to be inherited by a bastard child? That's not an image she wants for the company, yet she has no choice. Do you want to know why she came over today? It wasn't because he wanted to... Why he came over today? It wasn't because he wanted to see me or have dinner with me or to enjoy family time with me. He came to ask me to drop out of the light music club. How's it gonna look for us if people find out you're involved with a rock band or some crap like that? Because once again, what matters here is appearances. Saya bites her lip, crossing her arms and rubbing her elbows, her eyes glued to the floor. Oh, I'm sorry. I really thought he was trying to be nice. That's exactly the problem, isn't it? Oh man, it's gotten really uncomfortable in here all of a sudden. How did he even find out about that? The band, I mean. I'm not sure. I think he might have asked the principal to keep tabs on my activities in school. I wouldn't put that past either of them. So you're gonna leave the club? Hell no! Screw him! I told him if he wanted to get me out of there, then he'd have to have me dragged out kicking and screaming. It's a bit dramatic, maybe, but it still serves my point. I'm not going to stop doing something perfectly normal that I like to do just because of someone else's selfish desires. His image isn't my problem. You think he's going to try doing something to get you out? Who knows? I've never known him to be much more than a spineless jerk, but I don't know how much it takes to get him to snap.
bite my tongue to keep myself from making an unkind comment towards everything. I really don't need to deal with you two criticizing me on top of everything else. So, please don't blame Benjamin-kun. Talking to you was my idea. He didn't want to say anything. Saya, what are you doing? Telling the truth. I don't want Keikun to be mad at you for something that I forced you into doing. You didn't force me into anything. Wait, are you laughing at us? Sorry, it's just... You two are paranoid. You two are too paranoid. Paranoid? Look, it does annoy me that you guys would give me shit for stuff you don't know about, but I'm not gonna be mad at you. I know you two are only trying to help me, I can appreciate that, even if I don't appreciate how you tried to do it. So, wait, you're not mad at us? Annoyed, but not mad. You don't have to worry about it. Huh. So I was worrying over nothing here, too. I guess that's partly my fault. I showed have at least given you guys a basic explanation of my family dynamics before bringing you into my house. It was stupid of me to think I could do it without my grandmother or father noticing. Honestly, I'm slightly uncomfortable that you invited us over without their permission. I don't need anyone's permission to invite people here. The only reason I live here is because they want me to, so they have an easier time keeping tabs on me. I could move out if I wanted to, but it's just not worth the hassle. Couldn't your father just stop giving you money if you tried that? He could. With the amount I've saved up, I could live comfortably without a job for many, many years. Are you kidding me? How much have you saved up? That question I'm not comfortable with answering. Jeez, you're such a tease. It's a tease? Don't mind her, she's just being annoying for the sake of being annoying. Hey! Ow! You really don't think before you talk, do you? That was obviously going to end up with her hitting you. Are you calling me violent? Is the sky blue? What? That means yes, he's calling you violent. Ouch! You're lucky Alex isn't here anymore, otherwise he'd have already thrown you out the window. Is it bad that I can totally imagine doing that? It's a terrifying thought now that I think about it. I think I'll refrain from hitting you again while we're here. I wish you'd refrain from hitting me at all, but baby steps, I guess. Hey, Keikun. I know you said that you'll just ignore what your dad said, but aren't you in trouble with your grandmother? That's the thing I was worried about. I don't really care what she has to say about me, but the fact that Alec got punished for it really pisses me off. What kind of punishment would she inflict on him? She'll probably have him reassigned for a few days, so I won't be able to talk to him much. Not to mention a payment cut this month. That's just cruel. Unfortunately, cruel is just child's play for her. I'm just gonna pay Alex back the difference once I find out how much he discounted from his salary. Jeez, the fact that you can afford to just say stuff like that is scary. Sometimes I forget that you really are a pampered rich boy. Pampered? Who else would just go around saying stuff like, it doesn't matter if he got punished, I'll just pay him more? And that makes me pampered? I thought I was being reasonable here. Again, don't mind her, she's just trying to annoy you. But I'm not. Sure, you can pay him back for the money he lost because of you, but that doesn't make up for all the other stuff. Other stuff? Yeah, getting berated for your bosses, getting blamed for something that wasn't his fault, stuff like that. Giving him money won't make him feel less crappy over that. Keiken's shoulders slump as he leans forward, rubbing the bridge of his nose. I never thought of that. Are you sure Alex would even care about that? No offense, but the dude didn't look like the type to be bothered by it in the slightest. You're just assuming that he can't be hurt because he looks stoic? That's just rude, Benjamin-kun. Rude? How am I rude? Saya-san is right. Alex might look and act very detached, but he's not made of stone. He has feelings of his own, too. If he didn't, he wouldn't have bothered befriending me or putting up with my crap. I can't really argue with that. Every time I think I've done some progress in the way I act, I'm reminded that there's still stuff that I need to fix. No one's perfect. You just have to be aware of your own flaws. Said one of the least self-aware people I know. Hey, I'm aware of my problems. I just choose not to do anything about them. What? Then what right do you have to chastise him? Saya shrugged, shooting me a devious smile. Do as I say, not as I do. You're impossible. Tee-hee. Don't try to play it off by acting cute.
It's fine, I don't mind it much.
See, Keikun agrees with me. You're far too lenient with her.
I seem to remember you doing a lot more stuff that I let slide than Saya-san.
No comment.
There are a lot of things I'll have to think over after all.
So we just leave you so you can be alone?
What? God, no. The last thing I want to do right now is be alone. I think you guys underestimate how much peace of mind it gives me having you around.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. I've never really felt comfortable in here. This place might be my house, but it's certainly not a home. Having you guys here makes it a lot more tolerable, though. I dare even say that it's fun.
Glad to hear we can help. Yeah, if you ever need someone to talk to, you know we're always here for you.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Mushy stuff aside, how about we look for something else we can do until Kurata comes back with the food?
How about you tell us a little more about the band you joined?
The band? Why do you want to know about that?
I got to meet your bandmates and all that, but I don't think Saya did. Yeah, that's true. I've only heard about you joining a band. I have no idea what they are like.
Well, I'm pretty sure here in the same class as some of our members.
Really? Who?
Ichigo-san and Kagaho-san. They're our vocalist and bassist.
Wait, really? Ichigo-chan is in a rock band? No way!
It was really surprising to me too. None of the girls look like they're the type to be in a band, but even so, they are. And they're all good at it too. It's true. I heard them playing once and I was blown away by it.
No fair. I want to see them playing too.
I'll try asking them for permission to bring you later. I don't think Minazuki would be against it in the slightest.
Yeah, Ichigo-chan and I are friendly with each other.
I guess that's fair.
Do you guys have any idea what you're gonna when you're gonna perform your first show?
They were wanting to do it at the festival. I've been trying to help organize it.
Organize it? You're not performing with them?
Me? God, no. There's no way I'd stand in front of a crowd and sing or play.
And yet you're totally fine with doing it to play tennis.
This and that are totally different things.
I'm not so sure about that. Besides, Minazuki already wants you to sing with her, didn't she?
Again, there's no way I'd do that.
Aw, but you have such a good voice.
I already said no.
Minazuki really wants you to sing, though.
I don't care what she wants. There's no way I'm standing on a stage.
Why not? I know I've never heard you sing before, but what's the harm in trying?
It's embarrassing.
So it's not because you don't think you're good enough, you're just embarrassed.
God, why are you two being so pushy with this? Being embarrassed is just part of the reason. I honestly don't think I'm anywhere good enough to play in a band.
Oh, come on, we've already told you that you're good. Minazuki also heard you sing, and she also thinks you're good. What other confirmation do you need?
It's not that simple.
Besides, the others might have heard me sing, but you're the only one who heard me playing the guitar, remember? Look, all I know is that I really believe you can do this stuff. I think you should give it a try.
I don't think I could.
Gee, stop being a wuss and try already. Hey, Saya-chan, don't say it like that.
What is this, some kind of good friend, bad friend routine?
Oh, so I'm the bad friend, huh?
I mean, wow, Saya-san, your words are so comforting.
That's more like it.
Keisuke breathes in relief after avoiding near certain death. I'm just not really comfortable putting myself out there with music, you know? Maybe if I were better with the guitar, I would consider that. While I can improve with guitar or tennis, I'm stuck with the voice I have.
The voice you have is amazing, though.
You're just saying that to make me feel better.
Really? You really think I'm the nice enough guy that I'd put up with something I hate just to avoid hurting your feelings?
You do it with Arata and his cooking, remember?
Oh shit, he's right about that. You're the last person I'd imagine giving someone real criticism if it could hurt their feelings, Benjamin-kun.
What? You're kidding, I would totally do that.
Nuh-uh, you're kind of a wimp.
What? How can you just say something like that?
Because, unlike you, I just tell people the truth.
See, if Saya-san were to tell me I was good at something, then I'd believe it. See, what you're saying is that you just don't trust me to be brutally honest. Exactly.
You both suck.
Perhaps.
It's possible.
Young master, I've arrived with your food. I'm not saying that word no matter what game it pops up in. Time to have dinner.
Yay, sushi!
Keikun sits around in the corridor, looking up at the night sky. Saya's gone home about half an hour ago, something about needing to be back early. I decided to stick around for a bit longer before heading back. Man, it used to be that you could see all the stars from here. Nowadays, they barely ever show up. I wonder what happened. It's probably from the pollution. I guess that sounds about right.
Never really took you for the time to sit out, look around, looking at the stars.
Well, you'd be right in assuming that. This isn't something I do often, after all. I guess the mood just struck me today.
If nothing else, at least you seem to be feeling better.
Much. Having you guys around definitely made my day a lot better. It's really nice to have friends, huh?
Pfft, that would be an obvious thing already, bunny boy. That should be an obvious thing already, bunny boy.
I could correct you. I'm pretty sure you already know the difference between a rabbit and a hare anyway. And yeah, I know it's supposed to be an obvious thing, but still. I was always afraid of letting people in because I was scared that they'd be more interested in the perks that come with befriending a guy with my social status. Now I just feel like I was worried over nothing.
I wouldn't say it was over nothing. I still think you should be careful with the people you choose to spend time with. Just don't close yourself to the possibilities entirely.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Thanks for encouraging me so much, Benjamin-san. I'm glad I decided to listen to you.
Great, you finally come to the realization that I'm awesome and I'm always right.
I wouldn't go that far. Still, you were right in this case. I should have just been more open from the beginning. It might sound silly to you, but I've spent the past few years of my life always worrying about how people saw me, what they thought of me, whether they treated me nicely because of who I am or where I'm from. It feels really good to be able to just let loose and have fun with friends.
We could have been doing this from the start if you weren't so reserved. I guess we should be thanking Kenma-san for this, huh?
That conky lynx, why should we be thanking him?
I mean, think about it. The only reason I found out about your family was able to give you your advice was because he pissed you off so much that he had to calm you down.
I guess that's true. I still don't like the guy, though.
It's fine. You don't have to like him. Besides, I doubt this was his goal anyway.
Good to see we can at least agree on that. I hope you'll keep being patient with me. I know I have a lot of things I need to work on, but I want to eventually become someone you can relax around and treat just like another member of the group.
Don't be ridiculous, you already are.
You have no idea how happy it is to make me happy. It makes me to hear that. I enjoy spending time with you quite a lot. You should probably be heading home soon, though. It's already getting pretty late.
I guess you're right.
I'll go call a car for you.
Thanks. Much appreciated.
But before that, though...
Oh my, before I can process what just happened, I feel something pressing against my cheek for only just a second.
What?
Keisuke stands a few feet away from me, chuckling. Did you just...
I gave you a small peck in the cheek, yes.
Why would you do something like that?
It's just a way of saying thank you.
You don't say thank you by kissing.
They do in Europe. Victor told me so.
We're not in Europe, though.
You shouldn't worry about it so much. Just an innocent peck on the cheek out of gratefulness.
If you say so.
I'll go get a car for now. I'll go get a car now. Wait for me here.
Why is my heart beating so fast all of a sudden? Did he just do that to tease me? That does sound like a Keikun thing to do. Oh, great, now my head's all tied up in knots.
Hey, there we go.
I guess K-kun only has the day 13 so far, but that is not including the update that went out. I wouldn't get down to personal problems. Oh, personal problems. Had the start of the month, but everything went well in the end. Hey! Seems Keisuke is finally starting to come out of his shell a little bit. Come out is, yeah, that's fucking right. Joking aside, I hope you all have fun with this update and you'll be waiting for the next one. See ya. Aw, that's awesome. Well, goddamn. With that being said, the stream ain't over. Let me fucking... What is this? Patreon? Oh, that's Echo. I don't want fucking Echo. Well, I love Echo, don't get me wrong, but... Tennis Ace. I'm gonna do a cardinal sin and download something while I'm streaming. Let's see, is there a way to follow his Itch.io page? Just comments forever. Alright, so that's just comments. Oh, there is! Follow Watba. Following Watba. Hell yeah. Alright. 0.21 PC version. Activate. And I'm probably gonna lose all my saves. 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 But that's what I should be expecting. Hey, Watba. The public demos for Keisuke. Watba, I've been here from the start. Fucking lurking. Jerking while lurking. Some of my friends and I have a Facebook Messenger group, and we all have nicknames on there. And one guy who barely ever gets on, he never says anything when he does get on, but every so once he gets on and reads what's been going on. And his nickname is Jerkin While Lurkin. Showing folder. Extract files to the D drive. Visual novels. Extractamundo. Have I ever heard of After Class? I can't say that I have. I think someone someone has had requested it at some point. I know you've been here, Watba. I know you been here. Alright, let's see if the save files transferred. Because if they didn't, I'm gonna be salty. God damn it. There we go. Alright, it's there. But will they work? We'll find out if it has an error message. May 22nd. What have I been thinking of the routes so far? The author is asking me my opinion of the routes. The pressure is on. I will be playing Wolf's Sins in Paradise. I don't know when, but I eventually will be. From what I've seen, I don't think I like the art so far, but I don't know. I only saw it a while ago. So what do I think of the routes? Take a nice break from reading real quick. I love this game. That should be said first of all. I fucking love this game. This game has become my chill game because it used to be extracurricular activities. I was like, everything in that game is like, there occasionally it dips down into the serious. Every route seems to have their serious moment, but that game lost all of its fucking chill with the Chester route. So so this game is definitely my chill game because it doesn't feel the need to go to super fucking intense moments to create actual emotion. It's one of the most difficult things to do in writing, is to not rely on difficult events to create emotion. I'm not saying nothing happens in this game. What I'm saying is that I feel from this game a great sense of emotion, a great sense that the characters mean something to each other, a great sense of camaraderie, a gel, a mojo between them. I really like that. And it doesn't require anyone to be almost killed or something like that. The most dramatic thing that's happened in this fucking game is probably June hitting his head. And that wasn't even that serious of a fucking moment. He was in and out of the hospital like that. So I'd say this game, he didn't ask me for fucking a review of the game. He asked me what I think of the fucking routes. I should just do what I'm asked. Do what I am asked. What do I think of the routes? Shoichi is the heart. So much heart. I don't mean like so much love. I mean literally the heart of that story. It's the childhood friends slowly realizing that there's something more, and when the payoff finally happened, which we've only seen in that route so far, so we've only seen things culminate in that route so far, so obviously that one has the most emotional payoff, it has the most emotional depth so far. That route has absolute heart to it. I absolutely love the story. I think it was handled extremely well, and I would say it's my favorite, if not for the June route, which is the cute. It is the cutest motherfucking thing. Oh, man. I absolutely love... June is the soul. June is the soul, because you can't help but get invested in June and his story and his ambition and his struggles and his drive, the mystery of what really is his condition, and the struggle he has of trying to achieve greatness while not trying to go out of his element, and and he's just bloody fucking cute on top of it, and he acts so fucking adorable. You can't help but love the guy. So that one's my favorite route, and then of course that leaves Shoichi. So does that mean I hate Shoichi? No, of course not. Shoichi is the mind. This is the most story-heavy part. It is the one route where you have, it's like chess almost. It's the technical route. It's the route where you have all these different players and these different conflicting intentions and motives and all this other stuff. It's the least obvious one, because other than that kiss and a few moments that hinted at Keisuke being gay, or at least bi, or whatever, or interested, or whatever, other than a few slight moments here or there, he doesn't emote as much. He's not and that's part of his story. That's not a criticism at all. It's part of his story of trying to come out of his shell, as was mentioned in the author notes. So his route is the brain. It's the most like playing chess. It's complex, it's complicated, it's very interesting, and I really like it. There are no bad routes in this game. There isn't a single route in this game that I would be upset if an update came out and it was for that route. Not a single one. Even though I have my favorite, I still can't wait to see more of the Keisuke route, which we shall get into right now. So, there's what I think of the fucking routes. My way with words. I'm glad to see you all agree too, because this has become one of the most popular series on the channel, and I think it's largely due to the content of the game. Like, people have criticized me in the past for saying that no one is here for me. They're only here for the games, and that's why I'm so far behind people like Uki Cookie, who has such a magnetic personality that you can't help but notice him. And whether I agree with that or not, it's notwithstanding, I will say that whether a game is good, it doesn't seem to be the deciding factor on whether it gets views, because there are some games I've played that were kind of garbage, but they still got views. Oh, here we go. Thank you. I enjoy hearing your thoughts, although I can't comment on what I said, what you said without spoiling future events one way or another. I wouldn't want spoilers. I don't fucking want spoilers, so you don't have to worry about me asking for those, because I am 100% down to go on this ride with ya. So, let's, I don't know what I was talking, I think I was making a point about how this game is really good or something. Yeah, I mentioned that I was saying that, some games are bad, but they still get views, and I think this one is one of those where it's good and it gets views, and I appreciate that, because if I was by myself doing stuff I really liked, it would be the first 10 years of my YouTube career. Oh, man. I've been making videos since 2003. Like, that was before YouTube fucking happened, so yeah, the past 2 years where people have actually started to notice my shit, those have been the best years of my YouTube career. And it's always the best now than it ever has been. Whatever now is, it's the best. Anyway. Aw, you guys are being very nice. I appreciate that, because for the longest time I actually started to buy into the idea that no one gave a fuck about me. They just wanted to see the games. So I'm 23. Wait, how old are you? OMG. I'm 23. I'll be 24 come May. I'm going to turn 24 around the time that I graduate. And then right after that, I'm moving to Chicago, and I am fucking nervous about that shit. We're going up to visit there on Friday this week. Which, for those who are watching, because 44 people are watching, I'm going to be silent for a while. I'm going to be basically dropping off the face of the earth from Saturday the 22nd through, like, the 3rd. Christmas break. I'm going to be visiting family. I won't have an opportunity to stream. I'm going to try to use some downtime to edit some videos that I've had on the backlog for a while. Maybe try to record something. Bree's been trying to get me to play Red Dead Redemption 2. So if anyone would anyone give a fuck if I played Red Dead Redemption 2? Or maybe Spider-Man, the new one? Do you guys want me to do that shit? Because if you guys say you're here for me, then it shouldn't matter what game I play. Right? I don't know. Anyway. You're gonna stalk me on Instagram. Feel free. Feel fucking free. Listen to your elder. Oh my god. My brother's 3 years older than me, and he would pull that shit on me all the fucking time. I'm like, you're 3 years older than I am. Gives a fuck. Oh, man. Yes, play what you want. Fuck. Okay. I appreciate that. Holy shit. Despa, you watched every video on my channel? Oh my god. There is some garbage in there, man. Like, ugh. I might be going back and deleting some shit because, oh my god. There is some shit. Of course, if I started nitpicking, then I'd just be like, oh, everything sucks, and I'd just be mad at myself all the time, so I probably won't delete anything. Anyway, we've been yammering for long enough, I think. Let's see what day 14 has to offer. You watched all content. Oh my god. Wear a cowboy hat. I don't think I have a cowboy hat anymore. I think I got rid of all my... I got rid of a lot of my hats because I realized I wasn't ever wearing them. And not a lot of them fit anyway. I have a huge head. Oh my god, you watched the radio podcast too? Most people don't even realize I had a radio show. Oh my god. Jesus. It's so weird to think of people binging my channel. Anyway, fuck! Let's play the game. Jesus. Oh, there was a lot of meh stuff at best. Like, oh. That's what the highlight series is for, so I can have the good moments and get rid of all that bad shit. I sit around on the second floor hallway waiting for a certain someone to finally come out of his class. God, why does he spend so much time in there after class has already ended for the day? Once I hear the sound of the door opening, my attention is dragged away from my phone and towards it. Keisuke stands in front of the door looking at me with confusion. Benjamin, son, what are you doing here? I go to school here, remember? Not here in school, here on my floor. Damn, I know you're rich, but I wasn't aware you'd bought the whole floor. Ha ha, very funny. But to properly answer your question, I came by to see you. Evidently, as far as I know, you don't know anyone else on this floor. Then why did you ask me in the first place? That's not what I was... Ugh, never mind, you're just teasing me, aren't you? What was your first clue? Ha! That stole a line from Alex from the previous day. So, to what do I owe the pleasure? Given the look on your face, it doesn't really sound like much of a pleasure. Don't make me smack the answer out of you. Okay, sorry. Came by to see what you were doing. I thought you might be going to your band today. It's not my band, besides. His voice trails off without even finishing his sentence. Something up? No, it's nothing. I was just thinking some stuff over. I guess I'm gonna end up going today after all. You could stand to sound a little more excited about it. Didn't you choose to join their band because you wanted to be around music? Great! Can I come with? I attempt to distract him from whatever thoughts he's mulling over by being extra cheerful. I have a paddle. I'm gonna get rid of that. Hey, if it works for June, then it might work for me too, right? What, you want to come with? Why? Why wouldn't I? It's a band. It's cool. Besides, I enjoyed hearing them play the last time I was there. Oh, thank you, Ramsey. I can't just take you there without permission. Why? Did they not like me being around last time? Well, not exactly. They said they liked having an audience. Then what's the harm in taking me? It's not about... Oh, forget it. You're just gonna keep insisting until I agree, aren't you? Sounds like someone knows me well. It really does, huh? When we walk into the room, I'm greeted with the cool and dry air-conditioned air. The sensation of breathing it kind of makes the inside of my nose itch a little, but it is still pleasant nonetheless.
Good afternoon.
Keisuke says a greeting out loud without even checking if anyone's in first. Seems the room is empty at first glance. The instruments are all lying around haphazardly, and everything seems to be in disarray. There's no one here? Probably in the control room. Kagaho-san! A head peeks out from the door on the far end of the room, looking at us with curiosity. Once he recognizes Keisuke, the Raven walks out, lifting an eyebrow. Oh, Keisuke, I see you have a guest today. Hello, Harrison. I notice lack of an honorific inside of my head with a little bit of amusement. I guess it's safe for me to drop it too in that case. Good afternoon. Sorry for the intrusion. Raven crosses his arms, flashing me a polite smile. It's no bother. If you're sticking around to watch us rehearse, then I can already imagine some people would enjoy the opportunity to show off. That's what I'm counting on. Kagaho-san, why aren't you in uniform? Raven looks down at his clothes for a second before his eyes flicker back to the hair. Well, class is over for the day, so I didn't see any reason to keep him on. Good lord. God. I can understand that sort of attitude from others, but I've never seen you do something like that. Did something happen? The Raven lifts an eyebrow. I think you're trying to read a little too much into something innocuous. Unless you have something on your mind that's worrying you. Keisuke shifts, and for the first time today, I notice him hugging his arms extra close to his body. Something going on? Not exactly. Kagaho-san, do you mind talking to me alone for a second? There's something I need to ask you about. Keikun, is everything alright? Yeah, just give me a second. The Raven nods, making a gesture with his head towards the separate booth. The two walk there, close the door, leaving me alone in this soundproof room. Or at least they think they did. I could see that the door was just barely left ajar. No, I shouldn't, but I can't resist the urge to eavesdrop. I confirm that I can't see them through the looking glass and decide that if I can't see them, they can't see me. Bad assumption! I stealthily make my way towards the door, ready to listen in on the conversation. Aruma? Kagaho's voice is the first I hear. I can't really make out what he's thinking, just from the tone of his voice, but it sounds somewhat amused when he asks. I heard the girls murmuring to themselves when they thought I was out of earshot. Something about Ichigo-san moving away. And then I saw you in nothing but your daily clothes and no one else around, so... His voice is calm and soothing, almost paternal. Despite the two of us being in the same year and having studied in the same class once, we never interacted much. Still, the little I know of him is he's the responsible type. I guess him and Shuichi would get along in that regard. Although the dry sense of humor I saw the last time I came by was definitely caught me by surprise. I was just worried the band might dissolve. Wait, their band might dissolve? But Keisuke just joined them not too long ago and now they're dissolving? I can't really say much on the matter. Ichigo's business is her own to disclose. You should ask her about it. I will say that we've no intention of dissolving the band, though. Kagaho's voice sounds really serse from where I stand. It's like his words are denying what was said, but his voice seems to incline to agree, if that makes any sense. I suck at reading people's mood from their voices. Is this what Keikun was thinking about when I talked to you in front of the class? And the band would keep going even if she left? You're asking me for information I have no way of giving you. I don't make decisions for the others, Keisuke. All I'm saying is that right now things are fine. You're reading too much into it. So there's really no underlying reason for you to be wearing those clothes? I hear a dry chuckle. The Raven's voice echoes, almost like a squawk. Yes, I know that's speciesist. Craw! No, sorry, Spoof. I know you're sleeping. About as much reason I have for wearing any other type of clothes. If my clothes make you uncomfortable, I could strip for you. Would that make you feel better? No, thanks. I already see my fair share of naked bodies in the locker room. I'm good. I hear the sound of the door handle being rustled and immediately bolt back to where I was before. Act natural, act natural. Oh, the door's open. I could have sworn I closed it.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say the pin is actually broke a little on this, so you have to pull it hard for it to actually get into the groove. Otherwise, it slides itself open again. Seriously, how many issues have I fixed just these past 2 weeks alone? How does all this stuff show up broken? My guess is that the cleaning staff doesn't really know how to deal with all the equipment. A lot of the stuff here is really delicate. This door is bigger and heavier to help with the soundproofing, but it really uses a regular lock. It probably couldn't handle the weight, is what you're saying. It's as good a guess as any.
Is everything alright? Try to act as if I have no idea what they've discussed. Good thing I'm not as crappy a liar as Shuichi is. He'd have been busted before saying a word.
Oh, I forgot you were there for a second. Yeah, everything's fine. Just had some band matters to discuss. That's all.
Hey, don't just forget I'm here.
Anyway, I'll make sure to inform the faculty office so that this can be fixed soon.
Thank you, Keisuke. Did he just ignore me? Where is everyone else, by the way? Are they inside the booth or something like that?
Oh no, they're just late. I've been listening to some recordings while I wait for them to arrive. Ichigo is supposed to be meeting with the council president. I have no idea what the others are, though. Where the others are, though.
Well, Shuichi? Why?
His eyes met me with curiosity, almost cracking a smile. Oh, that's true. You're his best friend, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Something going on?
Ichigo-san wanted to book the school's auditorium for the band to perform in during the festival. She's probably negotiating with them.
Negotiating?
The student council allocates the common areas for the school, for interested clubs. Not all of us are capable of our rooms for our... What the fuck? Not all of us are capable of our rooms for our displays. So we have to get the spaces in other areas. The auditorium is the only place where we could possibly do a show, but it's also one of the most popular areas. Lots of clubs set booths there every year, and we are basically asking for it all to ourselves.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a difficult thing to get.
It is. Ichigo has been going at it for almost a month already, but he still won't budge. It's not like he's completely against giving it to us. It's just hard for him to reallocate the other clubs, I'd imagine.
I could try asking for you guys if that would make things easier.
Thank you for the offer, but we don't really want to use personal connections to our advantage. If we wanted that, we'd have asked Keisuke a long time ago. Not like I had agreed to it in the first place. Also true.
No, sorry, I didn't know.
It's alright. Like I said, I appreciate the offer. We just want to do things properly.
So you guys gonna be performing on the festival then? Do you have any original songs, or will you be doing covers?
It's mostly covers. Even though the band has been together for quite some time, we haven't had much success with composing until recently. We only have 2 original songs written so far, and only one of them rehearsed. Kagaho-san. Keisuke is the one behind our compositions. Did you know he's quite a talented composer? Kagaho-san!
Keikun's voice goes up a few octaves when he interjects, trying to cut the Raven off mid-sentence.
Oh, sorry, wasn't I supposed to tell him that?
Wow, I didn't know you also composed, Keikun.
I thought all he could do was compose until you and Ichigo told us he could sing and play, too. Can we please stop talking about this? Sure, if you're uncomfortable playing in front of us, then that's your prerogative. We're just here to make music. That's not what I... Never mind.
Hey-yo.
Good afternoon.
2 girls walk into the room, effectively interrupting the conversation we've been having so far. Not that I'm going to complain. The mood wasn't exactly the most comfortable in here. Their eyes immediately fall to me. The coyote immediately goes stiff, taking a step back when she notices my presence.
Oh, hi, you again, Kei-chan's friend.
Don't call me Kei-chan. Yep, that's me, Kei-chan's friend. I brought my tennis bag with me. I'll hit you with my racket, I swear.
Alright, calm down. I was only joking.
Hey, Kagaha-san, what happened to your uniform?
Is everyone gonna ask me that question?
You usually never get a chance before we rehearse.
I just wanted to switch things up. There's no harm in that.
I suppose. Come on, Circuit John, let's get changed.
The coyote nods, following the other girl without a single word being said. They're getting changed? Here? We have a small bathroom adjoined with that control room. The girls tend to go get changed there instead of using the public bathroom on the floor. I thought only the sports clubs had private bathrooms. This room used to be for the school's marching band rehearsals. That's why it's so big. We got lucky to be assigned it after the marching band was dissolved. So the bathroom was supposed to be for the band's instructor to use? Pretty much. Now it's ours, though. They tried assigning us a regular club room at first, but the noise complaints piled up pretty fast, and this was the only soundproof room they had. What about the classic music clubs room? Up until June transferred here, that was never used. It's not soundproof. I imagine that's because pianos, violins, and the likes don't tend to be as loud as electric guitars, drums, and other rock instruments. Oh, well, it does have a good point. That does sound like a good point. Once again, the sound of the door opening snaps our attention away from the conversation.
Hey, sorry I'm a little late.
The monkey, who if I remember correctly is their guitarist, immediately looks at me, openly grinning at my side.
Are we gonna have an audience today? Cool!
He then looks over at the other two members of the club currently present. His eyes linger on the Raven as he raises an eyebrow.
Kagaho-san, how come you're not wearing...
Is everyone seriously gonna ask me that question? The Raven snaps for a second dropping his composed attitude. His face flashes with a scowl as his voice echoes his profound annoyance at the repeated questions.
Okay, forget I asked. Sheesh, someone's pissy today.
No, you just happen to be the third person asking me that question, and I've already become fed up.
How's that my fault? Don't snap just at me.
Sorry, I think I might have kicked off this issue.
If you're sorry, then how come you're smiling?
The monkey pouts, his face starting to get red. From what I've seen last time I was here and what I'm seeing now, I guess he's not the most mature person around. I mean, he did throw a temper tantrum when he thought I dated their vocalist before. Kurusu, don't forget to breathe. I think your lips are starting to turn blue.
I am breathing!
Can we stop acting like children already, both of you? I don't see what my behavior makes me a child. Of course you don't. You're too slick to be caught misbehaving, aren't you? You're the one who said it. Yes, what an odd coincidence, isn't it? Now, can we focus on rehearsing?
Are the girls here already?
Miyu and Shoko are. Ichigo will probably still be a while. She's in the middle of negotiations.
What? Then how are we supposed to rehearse without her?
You know your riffs, don't you? That's all you need to rehearse.
But it's just not the same without Ichigo-san. What's not the same without Ichigo?
The girls walk out of the adjoining room, both changed out of their uniforms. Since the monkey had been speaking so loudly, they both walk in with their eyes glued to him, looks of curiosity plastered all over their faces.
Kagaho wants us to rehearse without her. Well, yeah, she said she was going to be late today because of a negotiation with the student council president. What's the problem with that? What? You don't think there's anything wrong with that? We can't rehearse without her.
I actually don't see any problem either. The coyote eyes me, her eyes lingering for a second before she finishes her sentence. Damn, her eyes look really scary and unfriendly. Does she not like me or something? The raccoon, noticing my sudden discomfort, elbows her friend.
Shoko-chan, don't stare at him like that. I'll get the wrong idea.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. She stammers out her words, her eyes suddenly becoming fixed to her shoes. Please try to have a little more tact, won't you?
What are you talking about? I'm all tact. I'm all about tact.
Sure. Kago-san, the raven, leans up towards me, whispering on my ear. Please don't mind her. She's really shy with newcomers, and some people think she comes off as being standoffish. I see. Message received. Well, should we get to it?
What about Ichigo-san?
Look, I understand your reservations, but there's less than 2 weeks until the festival, and you guys only have 3 hours a day to rehearse. Do you really want to lose? Do you want to lose up to an entire hour because of that?
But
It's as Keisuke says. We need to use our time to its fullest. We have 2 original songs to play, and we haven't even finished learning the first one. Even if I'm being optimistic, I still see us having a hard time getting them perfected by then. We can't afford to be wasting time now, unless you want our first show to be nothing more than song covers, in which case, good luck getting any attention with that.
Alright, let's get started then.
Right, I'm gonna be watching this from inside the control room with Benjamin-san. Alright, we'll do some warming up before we get to it. Feel free to call us out if we make any mistakes. I don't think I'm qualified to do that sort of thing. It's your song. You're the only one who can tell us if we're performing it correctly. That's,
Oh, what's wrong? Embarrassed to have your fan hearing your original composition?
Shut up!
Nice job establishing your authority. You're getting teased by a freshman.
Don't you start too. Come on, just come with me to the control room.
Ooh, this is like an actual fucking control room. Nice. Nice fucking monitor in the background. Good lord, that's an old computer. I walk into the so-called control room for the first time. The first thing that stands out to me is just how old the equipment inside looks. There we go. Holy shit, are those CRT monitors? Just how old is this stuff?
Most of it is unusable. I tried offering to buy new equipment for the band, but they flat out refused. All the instruments and amps they use are stuff they bought themselves, and they're all proud of that. Not that it would matter, though. We really don't do any recording, so the only thing we need to have functional is a sound monitor.
You mean the CRTs?
No, the sound monitor is something you use to monitor the sound frequencies. We plug a headphone into it and we can listen to what's going on inside as well as check each mic separately. Notice how we all have more room. We have more room, more than one microphone inside. We're not just picking up some of the sound inside. We have mics placed to record each instrument separately too. It allows the sound engineer to monitor every single player in the room. That's why it's called a monitor. It's the only equipment in this room that isn't outdated past the point of uselessness.
Oh, I didn't know any of that. Damn, I feel so stupid with him having to explain all this stuff to me. Doesn't help the way he acts as if it's the most basic stuff in the world.
Here, I'm gonna plug another headphone so you could listen too. Just don't touch anything else, okay?
Sure. Keisuke hands me a pair of earbuds and at the same time grabs another one for himself. He puts one on his left ear, leaving the other off. I assume he did it so he can still talk to me. Regardless, I imitate him, trying my best and not to look like too much of a novice with this stuff. Earbuds? I thought you'd be using on-ear headphones.
There are no good models out there for hairs. Our ears are too big, and that causes the sound to bleed. A good pair of reference earbuds are better since they completely close the ear canal.
Yeah, you really know a lot about this stuff.
What, mixing? Not at all. I had to research a lot of this stuff when I first joined so I could be useful. It wouldn't surprise me if I were wrong about some stuff.
Well, in that case, you sound really confident about something you really don't know anything about.
Wouldn't be the first time. Keisuke, can we start?
I hear someone's voice echoing inside my left ear. Looking at through the window to the next room, I see the Raven looking directly at the two of us. All the band members are in their respective positions with their instruments. I have to admit, even the meekest looking member of the band looks a hell of a lot more imposing once they have their instruments in hand. They really look like people who know what they're doing. The air of confidence they all have is a little stifling, if I'm being honest. Keikun presses a button and talks into a microphone that is dangling from a pedestal near his mouth. Sure, whenever you want. The Raven nods, sharing a knowing glance with the other members. Almost as if on cue, their drummer, the raccoon girl, clacks her drumsticks a few times as if to make a countdown. Then they all start playing all at once. No one's even a beat late to their start. The synchrony leaves me completely astounded. Whoa. I have a hard time even trying to come up with words. It's just, I can't even begin to put it into words. I look over at Keikun sitting next to me and see him frowning, staring at their performance with the complete opposite reaction to mine. Something wrong? They're not playing like usual. What do you mean? Half of them are doing just fine, but I think Ichigo-san not being here is making some of them uneasy. Really? Who? Guitar and keyboard. That's Karusu and Shoko. Our bass and drums are fine, but they're setting the rhythm, just as they should be, but they're making sure no one goes too wild. I have to commend them for that. But both the guitar and the keyboard are playing slightly off. It's not a huge difference, but any difference, no matter how small, can throw off the other members of the band too. Look at Kago-san. He's definitely noticed. I look through the window once more, seeing the Raven looking between Karusu and Shoko with a frown. How can he concentrate on playing and manage to keep an eye on them at the same time? Kago-san is pretty amazing like that. As if he read my thoughts, Keikun starts talking about the Raven, looking at the bassist with what looks to me like envy. He's like the band's guardian or something like that. He keeps a death grip on their rhythm and always manages to keep the rowdier members from going too crazy. He's the only reason the band can play in synchrony. In fact, he's probably the only reason this band can even function as a unit in the first place. He tends to act as a mediator for everyone all the time, and he's always keeping an eye on everything that's happening. That guy's probably as close to having superpowers as a person can be. Really? Because we know a bunch of really hard-working people already. You sure he's the closest to having powers out of all the people we know? Maybe not more than Urata, but then again, Urata doesn't have powers. He has a problem. Cheeky. I wonder how he'd react to hearing you say that. Probably fire a few choice expletives at me, you know, the usual. The fact that you can say that with a smile on your face is a little bit scary, I have to admit. How come? I enjoy our antagonistic to and fro. It's one of the funnest parts of the day. Funnest, huh? I think Shuichi isn't the only one with a problem. Perhaps, but I admit to nothing. Despite his light-hearted conversation, Keisuke's eyes continue to be fixated on the band. He watches them like a hawk, scrutinizing every minor movement and sound they make, constantly on the search for any mistakes. Yep, this session's a bust, alright. Is it really that bad? At this point, it'd be better for them to not play until Ichigo-san gets here. They're just going to end up developing bad habits and having a hard time performing it right if they keep this up. Ooh, ouch, that's harsh. I'm supposed to be their manager. If it means making sure they're doing well, then I have to be harsh. Sounds like a job you'd enjoy. I like hearing them play and helping them with their arrangements. I don't like being the ass that tells them that they're awful. Well, that's your problem. You shouldn't be using the term awful in the first place. That's why you're an ass. You know what I meant. Don't try to be smart with me. I have no idea what you're talking about. 2 times. 2 times. Ow! Keikun flicks me on the forehead, chuckling softly as I rub the spot where he just flicked me, a little stinging sensation, the throbbing on my head. The throbbing. That's cute, but we both know that you're not slick enough to pull off a clueless act. I could do without the flicking, you know. What? It's my way of showing I care. Sure it is. Hang on, they're about to finish it up. He leans forward, pressing a button on the panel again. I think that button might be to the microphone, so this room transmits the recording booth. Not really sure. You guys take 5, Kago-san. I need to speak with you. Barely 5 seconds after they finish their performance, Keisuke begins to speak, snapping everyone's attention towards the window. Raven sighs, putting his bass back on the stand and speaking a few words to the other band members that I can't hear since he's speaking away from the microphone. It was terrible, wasn't it? Before he's even come close to the door, Kago-san asked the question.
It wasn't the best, no. You and Miyu-san were doing a good job at the other two. They're too used to following Ichigo's lead. Without her here, they get lost. Yeah. I don't know if it's the absence of Ichigo-san specifically, or just the lack of vocals in general, but they certainly weren't concentrating. This is gonna be a problem. I don't know how long Ichigo's gonna take, and I'd really rather not miss precious rehearsal time. Crosses his arm, leaning his back against the door and letting out a big sigh. We should get him to sing. We should get him to sing. Him, Keisuke, sing, motherfucker. Kako's black feathers are ruffled and messy. I can see a few beads of sweat glistening between them. Is playing an instrument really that much work? Come to think of it, they're all a bit sweaty. We only played for, what, 4 minutes? What do you think we should do? Get Ichigo-san here. He sighs again, a strained smile flashing over his beak. Alright, let me rephrase. What do you think we can do? Have just you and Miyu-san practice? If the other two continue trying, they're gonna end up making things harder for themselves, for them, when they have to correct their mistakes. Alternatively, you could try to point out their mistakes and hope that they can fix it. I'm not very hopeful for that, given how they've just played, though. Nah, you're right. Maybe Shoko could stand some chance of getting back on track, but Kurusu isn't the type to do well with corrections. He's gonna be thrown off his game no matter what. If we try to correct him, he'll just get nervous trying to fix his mistake and end up making more. That's what I thought too. Both of them sigh at the same time. Kago-san closes his eyes, letting his head hang back and lean against the wall. Keikun, on the other hand, begins to rub his forehead, taking deep breaths. Is he thinking? That's a very dramatic way to think. Just throwing out a crazy suggestion, but maybe you could fill in for Ichigo as a singer until she gets back? Don't be ridiculous, there's no way I could do that. Isn't there? Ichigo seemed to think you could. She said you were a great singer. That's not... What's the harm in it? You did initially join this club because you wanted to sing and play guitar, didn't you? It's not that simple. Why not? They're a band, not a computer. They're people who used to working together with certain other people. You can't just swap a part out and have it work normally. Having me there would probably just throwing them off even more. There's also the fact that I can't sing in public. Kago walks up to Keisuke, putting a hand on the hare's shoulder and smiling softly. You won't know until you try. Come on, we really need to make a good use of this rehearsal time. Besides, you already sang in public back at the Lizard Guy's store, remember? Everyone loved you. That's different. I forgot there were people around. Plus, I was pressured by him into doing it. Alright, then I'll pressure you into doing it instead. It doesn't work that way. Come on, it would really help us if you could, just for today. No one's asking you to take over for Ichigo forever, just until she gets back. Kago-san stares at Keisuke silently, his eyes glued to the hare's face, their eyes not meeting. God damn it, peer pressure. Fine, I'll do it. That's great, thanks for the help. The Raven taps Keikun on the shoulder a few times, smiling. Just don't blame me if I end up making things worse. You'll be fine. Stop worrying so much. I hope Ichigo-san doesn't take much too long. What? I hope Ichigo-san doesn't take much too long. Good lord. Could you at least try to pretend you're paying attention to me when I'm trying to encourage you? By the way, what should I do while you're in there with them? Just listen to the rehearsal through the headphones and don't touch anything, okay? Cold. You don't trust me not to break stuff? No. Not even giving me time to react, he plainly utters the word no and walks out of the room. Looking through the window, I see the other band members shooting him quizzical looks and starting to have a conversation. I really hope this all goes well. 45 minutes later. Alright, let's take a break for a bit. Okay.
Despite Keikun's presence as a vocalist, the band was still having problems coordinating. Having him around certainly lessened their issues, but I couldn't tell from the faces of Kago. I could tell from the faces Kago-san was making that things weren't anywhere near perfect yet. Not only that, I could tell Keikun wasn't singing his best. His voice sounded strained, and at times I could hear him choking on notes I knew he could easily hit before. The whole thing was starting to leave a sour taste in my mouth by the time Kago-san called for a break.
Finally.
Keikun walks into the room with a sigh, immediately flopping down on his chair. You okay there?
I told him there was no way I could fill her shoes. I just screwed things up even more.
You think so? To me, they definitely improved, even though you were singing kind of weird there.
So you noticed too, huh? I was too nervous.
Keisuke. Keikun immediately stands up, his whole body going stiff as soon as Kago-san walks into the room.
Yes?
Are you alright? I could tell you were pretty tense over there.
You too? I know I was doing bad, but was it really that terrible?
Actually, I wouldn't call you terrible by any stretch of the word. With that said, I did notice you looking pretty tense and uncomfortable, so I figured that might be negatively impacting your performance. It really was. I've seen Keikun sing before, and he's much better than that.
What, Benjamin-san?
So it's as I thought, huh? The Raven crosses his arms, idly scratching at his chest and looking past us with a look of bewilderment.
Kago-san?
Oh, sorry, did you say something? His attention snaps back to Keisuke, his brow furrowing.
Are you alright? You don't usually get lost in thought.
No, everything's alright. I was just considering some things.
May I ask what those things are?
You may not.
Oh, sorry.
Kago chuckles, giving the nervous hair a few friendly pats on the shoulder.
Don't worry, it's nothing major. I just prefer to keep my thoughts private, that's all.
Still, I enjoyed performing with you, even if it was just a rehearsal. Having your vocals definitely helped the other two concentrate, even if they weren't back to 100% immediately. I'd like to do it again.
You said that like... You said it was a one-time thing, remember?
Right, I did say that.
Ichigo-san!
I think that's Caruso. I still hear someone's voice echoing loudly in my ear from the one earbud I still have on. I immediately flinch and instinctively take it out.
Benjamin-san, are you alright?
Yeah, someone just shouted really loud into the mic, that's all. Keikun notices my sudden movement and walks up to me, examining me with a look of worry on his face. Looks like Ichigo's here. Three of us look out the window and see Ichigo's figure immediately getting mobbed by the three remaining members. Let's go. We should at least see the result of the negotiations.
Yeah.
Wait until everyone's here. As soon as we walk into the recording booth. The recording booth! Ichigo's eyes fall on us. Oh, there you two are. Oh, and we have a guest too. Hi there, Harrison-kun. Hi there, Minazuki. Sorry for the intrusion. It's no intrusion. If you're a friend to one of us, you're a friend to all of us.
Ichigo-san, how was meeting with Arata?
Keikun ignores all the pleasantries and immediately asks the main question he's had on his mind. Calico Cat smiles knowingly. It went well. He agreed to speak with the other clubs that had approached him for their spot in the gym building. He says if he can sort things out with them, he'll let us use it for the concert.
Yes, that's awesome!
I immediately cover my ears as the monkey's booming voice echoes inside the room. Not even the only one doing it.
Hey, use the inside voice, you airhead. This is a closed soundproof room. You don't have to yell. Sorry.
His spirits immediately deflate as he begins to get chastised by his colleague. The others in the room ignore the little show, focusing on their own conversations. Ichigo-san, I got you the book you asked for in my bag. Oh, thanks. Give it to me once we're done with rehearsal for the day, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Kago, sorry I'm late. Did things go well without me around?
Not as well as I'd hoped, but I got Keisuke to do the vocals in your place while you were away, and that made things slightly better. Kago-san.
Her eyes immediately turned to Keikun, a beaming smile on her face. Really? Oh, thank God! Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the help, Kei-chan.
It was nothing. Also, please don't call me Kei-chan.
I'll just go get changed real quick and we can get back to rehearsal.
Alright, try not to slip and break your neck in the bathroom.
That would be one glorious way to die, wouldn't it?
The Raven chuckles, crossing his eyes and looking her up and down with a raised eyebrow and chuckle. I'm sure it would be. I can already picture the newspaper headlines.
You're too old-fashioned, Kagaho. No one buys newspapers anymore.
I still do.
Hence why I said old-fashioned. Anyway, I'll be right be. I'll be right be. Hell yeah, be right be.
If you guys will excuse me, I'm gonna go outside for some air. Alright, we'll start again in 5. Make sure you're back by then. Sure thing. Keikun grabs my arm and leads me out of the room with him in a rush.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing. I just need a little breather. Singing for them was really overwhelming.
I can imagine. You still did good, though.
I certainly hope so. One way or another, though, these are people who actually know music. They're not just some rank amateurs who have no idea what they're doing. They're all good.
You certainly have a way of being negative about everything.
Sorry.
By the way, what was that conversation between Minazuki and Kagaho? The whole slip and break your neck thing.
Oh, that. They always joke around with each other like that. Not always that morbid, though.
Sounds weird if you ask me.
Like you have any room to talk, like how you usually joke around with Urata Sayage-san and I.
I don't think that I've ever gone that far with my jokes, though.
You're only one step short of it, though.
Hell no.
Ha ha ha.
You're the one laughing at my expense.
Sorry, I just found it funny. Thanks for the help, though.
Help? What, if anything, did I do to help?
You have no idea how nervous during the time I was singing there. Still, talking to you helped me calm down a bit, so thanks for that.
I still feel like I'm being thanked for not really doing anything.
I'm just calling it how I see it. Anyway, we should probably head back inside.
Now the 5 minutes already passed? I make a motion to grab my phone from my pocket, but Keikun puts his hand on top of mine and stops me.
No, it's nothing like that. It's just that I've had enough time to recompose myself, so I think we should head back inside regardless. You're free to stay out here if you want, though. If you prefer, though.
No, there's no real point to that. I'd rather be inside with you. Plus, if my presence really is calming, then I could do some good while I'm at it.
Thanks.
We walk back into the club room, immediately being welcomed by the sight of the band amidst an enthusiastic discussion about what songs they should perform at the festival. Keikun and I spend the rest of the afternoon inside the control room, listening to the rehearsal whilst also chatting amongst ourselves. Once we finally finish for the day, we all head back home wishing each other a good night. All I know is that I really feel excited about the festival for some reason. I really want to see them performing on a real stage. Hey, there's 2 days in this update. Holy shiznick. Okay, I've been ignoring it for a while, but I'm gonna have to fucking say this. So, I don't know exactly what you guys are fucking talking about. I'm getting a picture, and I don't want to fucking... We don't need that. So, just remember, everything you're saying is up on the video screen. So, anyone who sees this video at all will be able to read this shit. And if you're typing shit that you either don't want tied to your name or you don't want associated on a video of mine, then you should refrain from typing it on the chat. In addition, if you keep talking about fucking this stuff, I'm gonna have to turn the chat off. Because I'm trying to read a story here. I'm trying to do what I can to enjoy a story that was written by someone who has worked very hard on this. And by talking about other shit and completely being distracted and being sidetracked by this stuff, then you're not only disrespecting me, but you're disrespecting Watba by trying to completely override their hard work, by trying to have your own side conversation about this kind of stuff. So if you don't want to be disrespectful, then fucking cut it out. Okay? I'm trying to enjoy this. I would hope that you would too. The area around the station is bustling with activity, lots of noise and bodies to go around. Many students are heading home after class now, so the majority of this mass of people is composed of them. For some reason, Keikun asked me during lunch hour to meet him here 30 minutes after class. I have no idea why he called me here, but he seemed to need help, I didn't hesitate to come.
Benjamin-san, over here.
I hear Keikun's voice calling me from behind. Once I turn around to see a familiar white hair followed closely by a fox. Vitkun, you're here too?
Oui, I mean yes. He's actually the reason I called you over today.
Why is there a question mark there? He is? How so?
He wanted my help navigating through the city so he could buy a few things. He wanted to join the tennis club once the festival is over, so we're mainly going to be going to the sporting goods store. Even though his spoken Japanese is pretty good, he still has a problem reading the kanji, so he wanted my help to know what's what.
That's pretty nice of you, although I'm not sure why you called me over too.
I think we've already established that I'm not good at doing these sorts of things by myself, so I thought it'd be good to have you around in case things go wrong.
Is that so? Well, I'll be happy to help.
Merci! That's thank you in my language.
I know that's not a French accent. I'm just doing a weird accent because I can't do a French accent. Still trying to get used to speaking in Japanese?
Yes, I sometimes revert back to it out of habit.
I'm starting to understand why you asked Keikun to help you with this.
Yes, that's why I have someone who understands me even if I'm speaking in the French.
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt to have a competent liaison. What about Alex? Is he going to be coming with us? After what happened last time when Keikun went on his own, I certainly think he should.
If I had any say in this, he wouldn't.
What about... Don't worry, I definitely still remember what happened last time. I asked Alex to meet us at the store. Having a guy that big walking through this crowd would be way too troublesome. Oh, huh. You actually thought things through. Good to see you chose to err on the side of caution.
What are you talking about? I always think things through, and I always err on the side of caution.
Explain to me how you got robbed then. Go on, I'll wait. If you say so.
Who is this Alex guy, another student?
Oh, right. You don't know Alex. He's my personal bodyguard.
Wow, you even have a personal bodyguard? I've been told that you're rich, but I've never thought to be that kind of stereotypical rich.
I thought you hated stereotypes.
I do. It's why this information leaves me so conflicted.
Alex is a massive wolf who I'm pretty sure could bench press me with one hand.
Wow, really? Damn.
Benjamin-san, please don't make exaggerations like that. He's actually gonna take you seriously.
Oh, so that... What? Oh, come on. I'm even hardwired in and I'm having stream problems. Really? God damn it. We had such a good streak going yesterday and most of today. Fuck. Oh, so it was just a joke? A shame.
What's the problem? I mean, he is super tall and strong. Maybe, but I have very much doubt he could bench press you one-handed.
How about I ask him once we meet up?
I'm not even gonna say anything to that.
Aw, it's no fun if you just roll over and take it. I think that's highly dependent on the context of the situation.
Please tell me that wasn't innuendo just now.
Alright, I won't tell you. What the fuck? Why is the video output low? Oh man, we were doing so well. It's probably just because there's 2 people awake now. Fuck.
Are you mocking me?
Damn, Vikram has a sharper tongue than I realized.
He is a fox after all.
What did I say about the stereotypes?
Alright, fair enough. By the way, shall we get going? The crowd over here is quite loud at this time of day.
Yes, think that would be a good idea.
I nod, making a gesture with my hand that tells Keikun to take the lead.
He flashes me an appreciative smile, leading the way to the store.
Here you go, Victor. This is a sporting goods store I personally tend to shop at.
Oh, please, you only come here because I introduced you to this place. You used to shop online before that.
But that's irrelevant.
Sure it is. I didn't recognize the kanji in the letter board, so either way I wouldn't have realized we can't stare at this easy regardless.
I mean, let's be honest. If you look at the display case on the entrance, you can already see a bunch of sneakers, rackets, and balls. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to tell.
Oh, I guess that's true.
So you're basically saying that we're useless. Either that or Victor's clueless.
Duh. Anyway, should we go look for Alex?
Look, he's almost 2 meters tall. If he's inside, he's gonna be standing out.
Or he's going to be standing right behind you. Wah! The 3 of us jump in surprise at the sound of the wolf's deep voice echoing right behind our ears. Your British country Italian accent is priceless. Is that what you would call that accent? I would just call it bastardized European general. The 3 of us jump in surprise at the sound of the... I already said that.
Jesus, Alex, don't do that. You almost gave me a heart attack.
What if a guy my size can sneak up behind you, then I'm really not surprised you were pickpocketed.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Damn, you really are the big... Alex's attention snaps to Viku, and his eyes looking at the fox up and down with suspicion.
Yes, I seem to be getting that a lot lately.
Victor instinctively takes a step back, suddenly looking very unsure of himself.
Alex, stop glaring at him like that.
I have to make sure he doesn't represent a risk to you.
For God's sake, Alex, he's my senior in school. What kind of risk do you think he can represent?
I can't know until I've properly examined him.
Examined? The fox takes another step back.
This kind of crap is why I avoid taking you with me when I go out.
And yet look how well that turned out. You got robbed.
You're never gonna let me live that down, are you?
Not likely.
If you two don't mind, I'm gonna show Vikun around the store while you guys bicker.
But wait, don't leave me alone with him.
I lead Victor away, mostly to give him a break from Alex's intensity. Gekun quickly follows behind, and our ever-loyal Alexander accompanies him. What kind of gear are you looking for here? Well, I never really played the tennis before, so I need a good racket. Maybe a duffel bag to carry my things around in, too.
Do you have any sneakers, taping, clothing for you to practice in?
I do have sneakers, though they're more like running shoes. And should probably buy a few polos, shouldn't I?
You don't necessarily have to use polos to play. Any sports shirt works. The fox studies the shelves carefully, gently touching the items to get a feel for their weight and textures. Definitely doesn't seem like this is his first time doing this kind of thing.
Howdy.
You alright? Yeah. Sorry, Spoof started barking so early today. It got me out of bed too, and I was not happy. Wound up giving it his food an hour early just because he wouldn't shut the fuck up. Well, just one more week, and then you won't have to deal with him ever again. Unless he tries to eat my step-parents or parents-in-law. I don't know. It would be parents-in-law, yeah.
Step-parents is like...
Yeah, that'd be like... Yeah. You seem to know what you're doing.
Well, yeah, I told you I used to play badminton in the town of France. I am the one who chose the gear I used back then.
That makes things easier.
What led you to come to Japan, of all places?
As if he only just now remembered Alex's presence in the room, Victor yelps, instead jumps where he stands, surprised by the larger male's voice.
Damn, you really terrified him.
Me? What did I do?
How could you be that clueless?
Clueless, sorry. Who am I talking to?
It's my brother. He's my brother Aaron. It's the big brother incarnate.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. Alex frowns, looking down at Keisuke with confusion.
He's fine. I was just a bit surprised, is all.
Fox takes a few deep breaths to calm himself, suddenly looking up and into Alex's eyes. He attempts to answer confidently.
I wanted to broaden my horizons, immerse myself into a different culture, and I've always been curious about Japan, so...
Alexander nods to his words.
People saying hello to you.
Hell, McCurdy even spelled it right.
That's like the third time you said it. You've been surprised by that.
Well, it's because you spent your entire life getting it spelled wrong, so I'm trying to point out people care about you, smartass.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was a different person each time, but
I don't know if it's a different person each time.
McCry, McCry's been saying it right basically since day one.
Ah,
And each time they're like, McCry said it right. And I'm like, yeah, McCry knows.
well, shit. Sorry for not fucking remembering the minutest of details, you fucking frick.
They're not even my fans.
Like you.
Well, yeah, but they're.
I have 6,000 of them. Oh, you're giving me chocolate. Is this a peace offering?
No. I just didn't offer it to you immediately because you're streaming.
Ah.
Since you're talking to me now.
What kind of breed is Spoofy? Spoof is a husky Australian Shepherd mix.
What about you? I mean, you don't look Japanese and your name isn't definitely in Japanese.
Hey, Aaron. Someone said you deserve a part, and you do a better snake voice than I do. You want to read a line? It's PG, I promise. It's a short one. You're reading for the big guy. The big guy. Can you see it through the microphone?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I've got a mouthful of cough.
Well, take your time.
There's a snake voice.
Yeah. Snake. Oh, shit.
Everything is moving.
I get a job here.
He responds dryly, leaving a lot to be desired in his answer.
Alex has been working for my family for years. I don't quite know how he ended up in our employ, but he's been my personal butler from bodyguard for a long time.
Wolf nods in agreement. I don't know if another line will pop up. I've never played this scene before. Damn, so you guys have known each other for the years then?
Keisuke?
Keisuke.
I've watched Keisuke grow, yes. Yes.
Yes!
Yeah! Ha! Metal Gear!
It's Keisuke.
Potato time.
Potato.
Tomato.
Tomato potato. Someone said your voice is sexy.
It's not my voice, it's David Hayter's voice. Yes, that voice is.
It will always be David Hayter's voice. I don't care Kiefer Sutherland. Fuck off. It's David Hayter.
Didn't even try. That's the problem.
Yeah. No, Aaron's my brother, not my cousin. That's why he's called the Big Brother Incarnate. Are you fucking dense? I'm fucking kidding. That's awesome.
He's probably the closest thing I have to a childhood friend.
How long have you actually known Alex for? You never really specified. All you've ever said is that... No, it's okay. All you've ever said is that it's been years.
I've been working for the Udashihara Corporation for 9 years. I began my employ right after I turned 18.
Well, really? Wait, so you're only 27?
Yes, why?
No way! You're so large and bulky and mature looking. You look more like you're in the late 30s. The wolf frowns.
No, I'm only 27. I'd appreciate if you didn't treat me like some old geezer. It displeases me.
Understood! Stop laughing at us.
Sorry. It's just, I can't believe you guys thought Alex was that old.
Give me a break, okay? I mean, just look at him. He looks too mature to be in his late 20s.
Well, sorry to burst your bubble, but he's telling the truth. He's not much older than us.
He's still 10 years older than you do.
Maybe. But I grew up with Alex. There's no one I trust more in the world.
Upon hearing those words, a small smile makes its way into Alex's face, his tail beginning to sway sideways, ever so slightly. Then again, I think I'm the only one who noticed it.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So, Victor, do you have your eye on anything in particular?
Well, I know nothing about the tennis rackets, so I'm going to need some help with that. Also, I think I'm going to buy some new shoes too. Keikun can help you with the rackets. He's far more knowledgeable about those than I am. On the other hand, I can go around getting you my recommendation for shoes while you guys check the rackets. Oh, really? That's super duper nice of you. Thanks.
I will not stop. I will not end. I will not stop doing that voice, and you can't stop me.
No problem.
I swear I recognize it from something. It sounds like a character that I have heard before.
Is that sarcastic?
No, I'm serious. I have been trying since you started that voice to figure out where I've heard that voice before.
Well, I mean, I slowly morphed that voice into the voice for the main magical girl in Utuare Ramono.
No, you're talking about that one, right?
Yeah, I am talking about this one.
Yeah, no, that was like a
It started as like, it started different than it turned out to be because I realized I couldn't do this. What was it? I couldn't do that. I can't fucking do it on command now.
Baku.
Deku.
No, you weren't Bakugo.
No. I could. Yeah, that was it. It started as that, but then it.
No, I mean like an actual character.
Oh.
Like you're doing it over the top. Because there are parts where you're doing it like I remember, and then like you'll say something else like over the top.
Why do you mean I don't make up any voice words?
Yeah, see, it's not quite right. But
I don't know what you mean. I'm doing my best.
that sounded right. I don't know. It's if you're not doing it on from like memory on a character, then that's.
Nah, I mean, I'm probably am subconsciously, but I'm, for the most part, just, like, he's French. I cannot do a French accent. I cannot do it. I cannot.
Good enough.
You know, it sucks, and I fucking cringed. But,
Just think of Lumiere.
Lumiere.
You don't have to do that.
When we. Lumiere. Hey, why don't I can't fucking do a French accent. It's
Just go. Sacre bleu.
Zazzle.
You're hurting too much.
I know. I'm intentionally doing it because I don't want to do a French accent.
Fine.
I'm bad. You got this. You got this.
Yeah, well,
You got this.
got it all week. So
Yeah.
have fun.
Thanks. You too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Dr. Nick. Oh, Watba. I am curious, Watba. Worst of the bunch, which I know that's what it means, but I prefer calling you Watba. Out of the voices that I do for any of the characters in this game, which one do you like the most, and which one do you dislike the most? And while you answer that question, I'm going to let my dog out of the cage. Out of the cage. I'm going to let my dog out of the cage.
Hey, you spoofy. Hey, you spoofy.
Made a fucking mess of my life, you know that? I guess we'll continue on until Basket comes up with the answers that I want. What is your favorite and least favorite voice? I want to know. Can you show me? I want to know. I don't know the words to the song. I liked Tarzan. No problem. What's your shoe size? Oh, there we go. Vic asked me to tell you the truth about, quote, anything that involves Victor. Uh-oh. Victor is gay. Oh. You like Keisuke's voice? Aw, thank you. Which voice do you hate? I want to focus on the negative. Oh, you don't feel comfortable talking about your least favorite? Aww. I want to disappoint people. That's how I know I'm staying in my lane. I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position, so I'll leave it alone. No. You're about to be a 31. I don't know if you guys have different shoe sizes in Japan. No worries. I'll look it up on my phone and see if there's any conversion that needs to be made. I'll be right back. I walk away from them to browse the shoes on display and check out the ones I recommend for Vikun. Oh. Vic. Yeah. Oh god, Decker's doing an accent for Victor. Oh boy. Stop eating the couch, you schmo. I'm going to assume, because you said that you don't want to discuss all the ones you hate, I'm going to assume that you hate all the voices other than Keiku. Because I need to feel self-loathing, and I need it to be justified. I'll walk away from them to browse the shoes on display, check out which ones I recommend for Vikun. I immediately notice Alex following me around the store. Spinning around with my heels, I turn to look him in the eye. You know Kei-kun is over there, right? He nods. I'm aware. However, he already has someone with him, meaning that he's safe. You, on the other hand, would be walking around alone. This is a sporting goods Get out of the fucking box. Get out of the box. Get out. Get out. I'm gonna poke you. Poke you with a foam sword. Me. You wanna sniff? Yeah, you can sniff it. Yeah, it smells like shit, right? Got this at the Barbarian Pit in at the Renaissance Festival. June's voice is a little weird. Oh, it definitely isn't realistic. Not a lot of people sound like this. It's a little too high. Oh, Aki. Oh God, Aki. That's got to be one for the history books. Oh God. This is a sporting goods store 2 blocks away from the station. I think I'm safe here.
Still, it doesn't hurt to keep my eye on you.
Why though? I'm not your boss.
True, but you're someone important to him, meaning that your safety is also important to me.
I think you're taking your job way too serious here. The wolf shrugs, continuing to follow me around. You know it's okay, you sure it's okay to be walking with me? What if something happens to Keisuke?
Like I said, he already has someone with him. He'll be fine. Besides, if something happens, I can still keep my eye on him from here. It's not that big of a store.
Does this mean you trust Vikun won't do anything to him?
Not yet, but I choose to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah! Bye! Well, aren't you altruistic? He smiles, shrugging once again. I continue to walk around, checking all the shoes that catch my eye and making sure to read their specifications. So, you and Keiko have known each other for 9 years, huh?
Yes?
How'd you end up working for his family so early? I mean, you were just 18 and you weren't even Japanese.
I was recommended to the position by my former teacher. He had ties to the Udashihara Corporation and showed them how competent I was.
Oh, sounds easier than I thought it'd be. Alex shakes his head sideway, looking down at me with a mournful smile.
Make no mistake, it was still incredibly difficult. They were very keen on testing me to make sure I was good enough for the job. I was to be the personal bodyguard of the company's only heir, after all.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Still, things worked out well in the end. Keisuke and I bonded over time, and they choose to keep me in the position because of it.
No offense, but his family isn't exactly nice. I'm surprised where the fuck is my mouse? Okay. Chose to hire someone who treated him well. I thought they'd want someone who made him miserable. He chuckled, shaking his head in a negative once again.
They can be difficult at times, but making the sole heir of the company miserable would be in no one's best interest.
I guess.
I certainly faced my fair share of discrimination when I first started at my job. Most of the servants working at the estate are much older than I am. They were mistrustful of me when I first started.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey. Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing, you schmo? What are you doing? What are you doing? You doing stuff? I don't like you doing stuff. I'm doing alright, Bobby. Other than finding out Basket hates all my voices. I'm fucking kidding. I've only ever interacted with you one other butler when I visited, so I don't really know what they'd be like.
The other butler in question is Kuroda. He was one of the few people who treated me cordially when I began working there.
Has he been with the family for a long time?
Much longer than I have. He's worked with the company since Keisuke's father first became CEO over some 20 years ago.
Wow, that long, huh? Alex nods solemnly.
Why the sudden interest in it? Are you planning on becoming a butler once you graduate?
Hardly. I've already had my career decided a long time ago.
Yes, Keisuke tells me you're quite talented. He believes you'll become a world-renowned athlete in the near future.
What? Really?
Oh yes, he's been trying to convince his father to offer you a sponsorship before you make your debut. He says he wants to help once you do. Says he wants to help once you do.
I had no idea.
He's a very secretive person, so it doesn't really surprise me. He's the type to keep his feelings for people hidden deep inside. He really cares about you and your entire group, regardless of how he might act.
I see. Wait, why are you telling me this? Wouldn't it piss him off if he found out? The wolf smiles with a cheeky expression on his face. Not used to seeing him with this kind of expression.
Probably. But he's a very awkward person. The last thing I want is for his reservedness to be misconstrued for callousness. I know how devastated he'd be if he lost any of you as his friends.
Does he really care about us that much?
Yes. He talks about you and your friends all the time. You're the most talked about, too.
Me? Why me? He shrugged. What the fuck was that?
Shrugs. My God. Hell if I know. Still, he seems to be quite fond of you. Much more than I initially imagined, too.
He's so gonna kill you if he finds out you're telling me this stuff.
I'll run the risk. I just want to make sure you know how much you mean to him. Knowing him, it wouldn't surprise me if he gave people the wrong idea and ended up losing his friends for it.
I think you have too little faith in him. Keikun's not that awkward of a person. Besides, he fits right into our group.
Perhaps now he does. But up until April, I always heard about how he felt out of place and excluded. I don't want to hear him saying things like that anymore, nor do I want to see him hurt.
God, you almost sound like his older brother.
Older brother, huh?
He pauses, looking suddenly lost in thought. After a few seconds of consideration, he nods, smiling.
I suppose in a way I do think of him as a little brother that I must protect.
Just be careful that this protection of yours doesn't result in you choking any of his friends, okay? Alex shifts where he stands, looking uncomfortable.
Ah, yes, that. I never did properly apologize for my actions that day, did I?
It's fine, I don't hold a grudge. You did scare the crap out of me, though. He chuckles.
Good to hear. Perhaps me being scary will be a sufficient deterrent to anyone who might wish to do him harm.
We can only hope. I finished grabbing a few more pairs of shoes, enjoying a pleasant conversation with Alex along the way. I don't really understand why he suddenly felt the need to accompany me, but I have to admit, he is nice company. I'm back. How's the racket shopping going? Here's the voice again. We've managed to narrow down the two. Keisuke's trying to decide between them. On the other hand, this one is lighter and more flexible. Keisuke seems to be completely ignoring us, muttering words to himself. He's probably comparing the rackets in his head to trying to decide. You want to try the shoes I found in the meantime? This might take a while. Oh, sure, thanks. I hand him around 6 different pairs of shoes that I brought along with me. Thankfully, Alex helped me carry them around, so it wasn't much trouble. These ones are very comfortable. Victor tries on the first pair, getting up and walking in circles with them. They're supposed to help give you impulse when you run. It's very breathable material, too, so you don't have to worry about your feet getting too sweaty. Oh, Vic. Vic, I'm sorry. It's my fault for not being good enough to have a believable French accent. If I was just good, if I was just better, if I was a better person, more talented, if I had any talent, then hopefully I would have been able to do better by you. But unfortunately, I am just not good enough. That's not new. It's definitely a good thing.
Oh, Benjamin-san, when'd you get back?
Not too long ago. You seemed to be engrossed in your thoughts, so we didn't want to distract you.
Sorry about that. So how'd the shoe shopping go?
I'm going to try the second pair now. I really like this first one.
You didn't pick anything overly pricey, did you?
I try to be conscious of the price when making my choices. Nothing too egregious.
That's good. Wouldn't want you to make the same mistake I did.
You mean at the ice cream store? Man, those prices almost gave me a heart attack.
Exactly. By the way, Alex, you were walking around the store with Benjamin-san?
Yes, I hope that isn't a problem. I wanted to make sure he was safe, and you already had company with you.
Of course it's no problem. Thanks for looking out for him.
Not that it was needed.
Did you make a decision on the racket?
Yes, I think this one will be ideal for you.
Keikun hands him a purple racket with black stripes and white finishing all around the handle. Victor grabs it, waving it around with curiosity.
Well, it's a lot lighter than I expected.
Oh, Jesus. Victor is said to barely have an accent in Japanese during his introduction. Well, his Japanese was pretty good, but it's fine. I'll get accustomed to your interpretation. Well, I think in the first episode that he was introduced, I don't think I gave him an accent. But I didn't remember that until I've already dug this hole for myself, so I might as well just keep going, I guess. Because there's no limit to how much I can fuck things up.
It's a good all-rounder racket. You can buy a new one if you decide to specialize in a specific type of shot or something of the sorts, but for a beginner, I would recommend this.
Alright, then this is the one I'm getting. Good, thanks!
He looks the racket up and down, examining it with a big smile on his face. Vic Kuhn looks really pleased with it as he completely forgets to try on the rest of the shoes while waving the racket around. I call over an attendant, taking the racket from Victor's hand and handing it to the man. Why? Can you hold on to this when we check out?
Certainly, I'll put it behind the register.
Thank you. Wave at the worker as the worker walks away with the racket in his hands, feeling very pleased with myself. Why did you do that? Vic Kuhn pouts. Because you were so distracted playing around with it, you forgot to do the rest of your shopping. Plus, this way you don't have to carry it around while you choose what you're gonna buy. Wrong buy.
You could have at least asked me to put it down, you know.
I believe this was more efficient regardless.
Party pooper.
Yep, that's me. I'm Mr. Anti-Fun. Now get back to trying on those shoes. Victor grumbles unhappily, sitting back down on a bench and proceeding to try on the next pair.
We also have to look at some shirts after he's picked a shoe.
Just make sure not to go overboard. If he buys a bunch of stuff, then the bill is going to come out pretty scary.
Yeah, I can already imagine that.
Once we finish shopping for Victor's equipment, we walk back to the station area. The excess movement has already begun to die down, making it so the area isn't as crowded anymore.
Man, I ended up buying a lot of stoof, huh?
He's carrying 5 bags with him, constantly shifting them around in his hands in an attempt to get comfortable.
Why do they use bags with thin nylon handles? It feels like it's slicing my hand through because of the weight.
Here, let me.
Alex walks up to the fox, taking the bags from his hands and carrying it in his own.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
So, Victor, is there anything else you'd like to see today?
Maybe a bathhouse.
Not even if you paid me would I go to one.
Oh.
Sorry, Benjamin-san isn't a fan of nudity.
Huh. I wasn't expecting that.
Any other ideas?
Preferably ones that don't involve nudity.
Well, there's a lot of tourist spots in the historic monuments in Japan, right? Maybe we could go to one of those. I did come to the country primarily to learn the culture.
A tourist spot, huh?
I know of one place we could go.
Really? I never took you for the touristy type.
Alex shrugs.
Knowing about the layout of the city helps me do my job.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's your idea?
Oh, fuck. I'll take us there. Just follow me.
A big, scary man asks you to follow him someplace unknown. This sounds like a setup for some horror movie.
Would you rather I just leave you here by yourself?
No, I'll go. It takes us nearly an hour to finally reach the place Alex was trying to lead us to. We end up at a local shrine after crossing a bridge that goes over a little stream. Multicolored leaves are fallen on the concrete steps of the entrance. Unlike the station, which was the center of one of the town's busiest areas, this place is nearly deserted.
Here we are.
Alex motions with his head, pointing at the large wooden gates and the different altars around us.
Wow, a bona fide Shinto shrine. I've always wanted to visit one.
Really? I thought you weren't too big on religion.
I'm not, but this is a piece of history right here.
Alex, how do you even know about this place? It's one of the it's at one of the edges of town. Not many people even come here in the first place.
It's a tourist attraction. You wanted to go someplace touristy, didn't you? This felt appropriate.
It is appropriate. Thank you, Alex.
The wolf nods in response.
Wow, the architecture is here's magnificent.
It certainly is a looker. I'm surprised by how well preserved it is.
It's a historic monument, not to mention the shrine still has priests looking after it to this day. It's in no danger of going downhill anytime soon.
That's good to know. People should care more about their history.
Victor nods enthusiastically, pulling his phone out of his pocket. A mechanical camera sound echoes from it as the fox takes a shot of the scenery. Wow, that's an old school camera sound.
Wee! I thought it was pretty charming, so I configured my camera to make that sound whenever I snap a picture.
Huh, that's kind of amusing. In Japan, our phones make camera sounds that cannot be turned off no matter what. You, on the other hand, chose to have a noisy phone camera.
You can't? Why not? It's to stop people from taking pictures of others without permission. The camera sound would let everyone know that that a photo was snatched, and that keeps people from being sneaky with them.
I'm pretty sure it's mostly to stop perverts from taking upskirt shots of women.
And yet, some people are still stupid enough to think that a phone that makes no sound is taking a photo of them.
People will believe whatever they want to believe.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Not that it stops people from hacking their phones to turn it off. So long as it isn't readily available, most people won't have the technological know-how to do it.
Or the patience.
That's true.
Victor continues taking pictures of the place, capturing everything from the main gate to the altars to the nearby trees.
If you want, you can buy a fortune here.
I don't really believe in that kind of stuff. I think most people don't believe it. They buy it to help support the temple. It takes money to keep a place like this functioning, you know? Oh, in that case, then I'm going to buy one. We walk up to the nearby priest in front of the box of fortunes. Oh, God. What do I do? What do I do? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Wow, all my fucking voices have disappeared. I can't think of anything. This does not happen often. Give an old wise man voice. Give him a wise old man voice. I think maybe I'm just having trouble thinking of voices because I've been under such persecution.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
That's like a senile, that's a senile old man.
Raisins?
What the fuck? Oh, neighbors. It's okay, Spoof. It's just the neighbors.
Good evening. What brings you all here?
The man, a tanuki, smiles warmly at us, making a small reverence to welcome us.
We're showing our foreign classmate around.
Ah, and you decided to bring him to our shrine. I am most grateful for that.
How does this fortune stuff work again?
You make a payment of 5 yen and take a random fortune from the box.
5 yen? Wow, that's cheap.
He opens his wallet, fishing out a coin from inside and handing it to the priest.
Thank you very much.
Victor puts his hand in the box, shuffling it around for a few seconds before pulling out a folded piece of paper.
What does it say?
Let me see. Oh, I got the great blessing.
Wow, those are supposed to be really rare.
Never met anyone who's drawn one.
What does it say the blessing is for?
Let me see. A great blessing with childbirth? This can't be right. Well, don't laugh at me.
You'll make a wonderful mother.
Not you too.
Even the priest is trying to keep himself from laughing. He's covering his mouth with his hand and looking away from us.
This is bullshit.
Oh no, you shouldn't swear it in temple.
But...
He's right. The shrine is a place of adoration. You should be respectful of that.
Go.
After this one, I kind of want to draw a fortune too. See what comes out. I suppose I am also interested. What about you, Benjamin-san? Will you draw one too?
Hell yeah. Sure, we should all draw one. Hopefully our fortunes don't end up making us pregnant. Hey! The three of us hand the priest 5 yen coin each and grab a piece of paper from the box.
Alex, why don't you go first?
Oh, that's funny, Vic.
All right.
And he neatly unfolds the piece of paper that's almost too small for his hands.
I drew a curse for my wishes and future business.
Oh, ouch, that's gotta suck.
The wolf shrugs, folding a piece of paper back and putting it in his pocket.
You just have to do your best with what you have. My fortune is my own to make.
Isn't that a mature outlook to have?
Alright, me next.
Sure, knock yourself out.
Check out what's written on my paper. Even though I don't consider myself a religious person, I can't help but feel a little superstitious when it comes to these. Hey, cool. I drew a great blessing for my love life and my business.
Wow, 2 great blessings in one day. Maybe these aren't as rare as we thought.
Plus, it's good that I drew one that actually makes sense for him.
I somehow feel jealous. And I don't even believe in these in the first place.
It's the rarity effect.
What about yours, Keisuke?
Let's see. Keikun looks at what's written on his paper.
Oh wow, I drew the same one as Benjamin saw. What are the odds?
Oh, it's so cute.
What, really?
Yeah, look. Great blessing for your love life and future business. That's what it says.
Huh, so I'm the unlucky one.
Sorry, Alex.
Only unlucky. Hello, did you even look at my fortune?
Don't worry, I'm sure your children will be smart and beautiful.
Quit mocking me!
The wolf smiles deviously. I guess even he has a sense of humor.
Your kids can make a prayer at the altar if you'd like.
I think I've had it with this religious stuff in for the day.
It'll be like that if you pray hard enough. Maybe the man of your dreams can show up and will show up sooner.
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
Victor's face is starting to go red. Whether that's from embarrassment or anger, I really don't know. Careful, Alex. You keep that up and his head might explode.
Gah. How about we go around the temple so you can take a few more pictures of the scenery? The nearby stream is quite pretty too.
Yes, please.
We wave goodbye to the priest and walk back out the temple. Going through the entrance arch once again.
Sucking.
This place would have been prettier during the cherry blossom season.
Ugh, no, I still can't stand those.
Too bad we're not here for you, are we?
Fair enough.
Oh, hey, there's fish in the stream.
I wouldn't be surprised. Everything around here is really well kept. The water is crystal clear, see? It's all very clean.
I didn't think you could get so much nature this close to a major city.
Really depends on where you visit. Some organizations are more gung-ho about nature preservation than others.
The estate is also surrounded by nature.
What's this? Oh. What is this? Someone trying to send me a message on Instagram. Well, it's going to take forever to load because I'm using data, so I might as well just leave it. Oh, huh. I told you we were going to stalk you on Instagram. That you did. LOL. That's funny.
That's true. You can't see any other buildings around us. It's a bit lonely, actually.
I agree. That's why I have an apartment in the city.
I don't know. I think I actually prefer a quieter place. I love a countryside.
I wouldn't really call the estate countryside, but I guess it is far enough removed from the hustle and bustle of the city.
Oh, that was Alex's voice, wasn't it?
Yes. I have a hard time relaxing there.
Oh, hey, I just remembered. Is there a koi fish pound around here? Something of the sorts?
There might be. Why?
Can we go there? I want to see it. I want to take a picture of the fish.
Sure, whatever floats your boat.
Whatever boats you float.
We have fun exploring the temple and its surroundings for a few more hours, leisurely enjoying the company as we go along. Alex's decision to come here certainly paid off, as Victor seemed to be entertained the whole time. By the time we reached the station again, the sun was nearly already fully set. The bustle of nightlife has already begun to increase as more people begin showing up in the area. Thanks again for the help. I really appreciate it.
It's no problem. We had fun, right, guys?
Yeah, sure.
It was an entertaining day.
Alex hands the fox the bags he'd been carrying the whole time. Victor beams at him. Thank you. Sorry for making you carry these for me.
You did no such thing. I carried them out of my own free will.
Anyway, I should be going back to my apartment. See you guys again tomorrow.
All right, have a safe trip home.
Be careful.
I will. Bye.
All right, the action is gone. Are the short stories non-canon? Because I've been thinking, like, when I get my tax return, I've been thinking about snagging some of those short stories. If they're non-canon, they'd still be fun to read. I wouldn't read them on stream, of course. They're behind a paywall. I wouldn't want to subvert a paywall. I've almost got in trouble for that before. That's why I only play the public builds for games, even if I am patronizing some games. The fox continues waving at us until he disappears into the crowd and vanishes from our sight. And that was the last time we ever saw him. No, I'm kidding. I should probably get going, too. My family's going to worry if I arrive too late at home.
It would probably be for the best, yeah.
Keisuke, do you want me to call for the car?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back. I have to go someplace else with less noise to make the call. Don't go anywhere.
Wouldn't dream of it.
We are suddenly left alone amidst the crowd. Even Alex, with all of his height, soon disappears into the masses.
How about we go someplace more quiet, too?
What about Alex?
He'll be fine. He's a big boy. He can take care of himself.
You really are sneaky when you want to be, huh? Keikun grabs me by the arm, leading me away from the giant group of people. We don't walk very far, just enough to get us out of the huge crowd in front of the station.
This should be enough. My ears were already starting to ring with all the voices.
It's certainly an assault on the senses at times.
Thank you for your help today, by the way.
Not that you needed it. You did just fine showing him around without me.
Maybe, but having you around to fall back on definitely helped me stay calm.
Oh, God. It's the one and only Uke Cookie. Oh, boy. the person that oh, did you fucking fart, Spoof? Jesus tits. It's the man who will always be better than me. The cookie man, the cookie monster. Even Wappa's is a cookie. Yeah. Hello, Cookie. I don't know how long you're gonna be here, but hello. It always seems like people I know pop in and then disappear immediately.
Maybe, but having you around to fall back on definitely helped me stay calm. I'm pretty sure I'd have gotten lost if you and Alex weren't around, so I really appreciate it.
Maybe you should be thanking him for it too, then.
I will, but Alex also had no choice in the matter. He has to accompany me. You could have very well said no and enjoyed the day by yourself.
Oh, Cookie. Oh, Cookie! Cookie! Cookie!
Oh, yeah. Okie Cookie doesn't have this paper-ass Burger King crown. The Furry King crown. Boom. He just has the millions of more views than me. Oh, God. If I was in a game, Jesus. I got close, actually. There's that Easter egg in extracurricular activities in Chester's room where there's a husky with a Link outfit. And I thought for a second that was a reference to me because I was like, that's my character icon. A wolf in a fucking Link outfit. But turns out the background artist just did that without even... It wasn't a reference to me. They did it of their own accord. Besides, I wouldn't fit well in a athletics based game. Of course, neither does June. I'm saying that he doesn't fit in this game when I'm like, he's not athletic. So I guess there's a place I could be. That's all up to basket, though. And if he put me in the game, then he'd have to put everyone in the game, and that would just be too much. To focus on making a good game of his own. As if I'm the kind of person to do that.
I suppose that's true.
By the way, has there been any news on whether your band will get the gym or not?
No, and Arada's being tight-lipped about it, too. I tried asking him where we stand, and he refused to answer.
Well, he's a stickler for the rules, so it's no surprise.
Having a little flexibility every now and then, now and again, wouldn't hurt.
You hate sports? Man. And you have that, like... I almost said something that could be misconstrued. I was going to make a compliment about your body. And it almost could have been misconstrued. So I didn't do it. I was going to say something to the effect that you have what I would consider to be a body better fit for athletics than mine. Because you're slimmer than I am. You're more energetic than I am. I was gonna call you hot, damn it.
Having a little flexibility every now and then. I already said this.
Look who's talking.
Yeah, I suppose that's suspicious coming from me.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I should be going.
Alright, I should probably get back before Alex comes back and throws a fit.
Try not to make things too difficult for him, will ya?
I make no promises.
Good night.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
I begin my walk home with Keikun seeing me off. I can't stop looking at the night sky on the way. For some reason, it really calls my attention today. In this area of the city, it's hard to see the stars at night. Even so, today they really seem to be shining a lot. I feel oddly relaxed on my way home. Guess I had a lot more fun today than I expected. I wonder about that stuff Alex said to me in the store. So I mail out to Keikun, huh? For some reason, the thought of that makes me really happy. And there's the author's notes. Time to save, time to save. Let's read the author's notes. Just say it. You're hot, Cookie. What can I say? I'm not... you make me flustered. You're cute. Oh, God. What am I going to fucking do with my life? Why do I have so many pairs of earbuds? I have like 3 of them over here. What the fuck? Hey, guys. Thank you for the support this month, too. I hope you all enjoyed the update. Notice I'm not giving Watba a fucking weird accent, because I'm not that mean. It's still going to take a while, but I'm starting to get settled in my new apartment. Living alone in the new city is definitely very daunting at first, but I'm really enjoying myself. I'm glad to hear that. I'm just glad I was able to get this update out in time despite how busy I've been since the move. Please don't forget to tune in again next month. Wait, that's it? I've been streaming for 3 hours. What the fuck you mean that's it? All right. Well, there you go. That's it for Tennis Ace, man. That's it. Like, I believe they said that, take it to the bedroom, you YouTube celebrities. That'd be a fucking pay-per-view, wouldn't it? The Watba, the update was just for Keisuke, right? I want to make sure before I end this so that I don't leave anything out of the episode. Because I am still good to record, so I'll probably, because people said I might actually play some other games, probably won't stream, I'll record them so I can edit them and put them out during Christmas break. I know you just showed up, Uki. I'm sorry. You want me to just tag you every time I stream, that way you can show up all the time? Nah. That's early for you, isn't it? I remember we were trying to get together for the podcast, and 4 p.m. was early for you. What time is it there for you, Cookie? Yeah, and it's just one character for the update? Alright. Well, cool. And all 3 characters will have romantic scenes. Oh, I can't wait. Well, then that means that... Oh yeah, that Shuichi scene was fucking perfect. I can only imagine what the other ones are going to be like. Oh, man. Anyway, so that is the end of this Tennis Ace episode. And of Tennis Ace until next month's update. It's weird. I've been playing this game every other day for the most part. Oh, 5 a.m. Fuck. And it's cold. It's cold here, too. It's just cold in general, I guess. It's fucking freezing out right now. What temperature is it outside right now? Maybe literally freezing? Okay, not even close. It's 54 degrees. But that's without the wind chill. What does it feel like? Weather simulation. 48. Okay, so it's chilly. All right. So, oh man, I feel weird letting this series go. Feels like we just started. 30 episodes? Just 30 episodes? Of course, if I wasn't streaming this game for like 3-4 hours at a time, then there would be way more episodes, like for extracurricular activities, which is about to reach 100. Holy shit. But I guess the game, as I've already started playing it, the game that will be replacing this will be Homecoming More Announcer Revisited. Oh, man. Well, I will say this, since this is a finale of sorts, I really love this game. I really think it has a lot going for it. It feels very emotional without pushing itself. What? Like your butt feels weird? What? What? That caught me off guard, Cookie. But this has a lot going for it without going to any tropes or any harsh events to force emotion, because it's easy to write emotion after a harsh event. It's a lot harder to make emotion just out of the circumstances of real life. So, thank you all very much for joining me on this episode and this series. And yeah, we'll see it next time when this game gets updated. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained unprofessional, speaking for the voices in my head when I say until next time, fare thee well. Bye, everyone.